So we have around, I think around 12, 11 or 12 participants today. First of all, thank you for coming to the session today, Friday night. I know Friday night is tough, but I think because it's the MCO, so I don't think people really want to go out on Friday night. So I hope what we'll do today is we really try to see how we can learn as much, not just from me, from each other, and also as many as we can. So before I really want to start on my session today, even before I introduce myself, what I'll do is I wanna like tell you guys like basically 90% of how well. Okay, did someone just mute me? All right, sorry guys, technical issue. But basically, what I want to tell you that usually 90% of presentation is already determined before you step on the platform, even before you start. So meaning that is how important the pitch deck is. The pitch deck and also how important your posture is, how you want to start the session. Sometime before you enter the room, before you go onto the stage. So here we are today. I'll try my best to share what my experience of how I prepare to pitch, and also to share what type of pitch deck, how a pitch deck should be like, even what is the content should be inside. So again today, I'll try to get we'll try to get feedback from as many people, even from me, or maybe just sharing session. At the end of the day, feedback is just an info. It's not a direct order, a direct request. It's not something that if I tell you, you guys, you must do this, you must do that, doesn't mean that you have to do it. Everyone have their own style. What I share here is just what I go through, what I seen through a lot of pitching. So it's more like you guys learn from it. You guys see what is the best option that suits you best. Second is curiosity is great, meaning that if you're curious about something, meaning that you want to learn about it. So if you have any questions, feel free to either basically just drop a question on the chat box, or even just unmute yourself, because it's only 20 of us. I mean, less than 20 of us today. So if you have any question, just unmute yourself, and then we can chat about it. No worries. 4 hours is really long. If you guys want to talk about it, anything regarding pitch deck, pitching, stop, ask question, and we'll try to address at the time immediately. The next one is the spirit of sharing. So also throughout my session, if I share something, you guys have a better idea to share, a better experience you guys went through, feel free to share. There's no right or wrong in sharing, and usually the more we're open to share to others, there might be more people who are willing to help as well, right? Okay, before that, sorry, I just read this cheat code, I just 25, I couldn't join 28. No worries, no worries. We will try to share as much as you can, and then once finished, I think you guys have an option to have the deck. I can just pass to Colleen, and then we'll see how we can learn as much as we can. All right. So before I share about myself, actually, I just want to know from you guys, right? Is it possible for everyone to just share a quick one-liner about what you do, so that I know like exactly who are we talking about, and if you guys are doing a service or you guys doing a product, so it's easier to share more, because truth to be told, doing a pitch deck about service is different if you do a pitch deck about product. So if you can, maybe you can open your mic. Maybe just I just want to hear like you guys mention your name and where you're from, and just a one-liner about what you do. Maybe your company name as well. All right. So whoever wanna start first.
Cikgu Asnawi here.
Hi, Asnawi.
I'm doing training service, and also now I'm venturing into digital marketing service.
Okay.
From Kajang, Bangi. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Asnawi.
I'm Bhuvaneshwari here.
Okay. Hi.
I'm from Kajang. I'm doing event planner. My event company name Divine Event Planner.
All right. Thanks.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Fatima. I am from Penang, residing in Selangor. I am doing a family activity box. My company name is The Family Story Box.
Family activity box. Can you just elaborate more on that? What type of box are you talking about?
It's a story box. It's a story box with activities like 3D puzzle,
Oh,
with meaning stories and storyboard.
okay, nice, nice. Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, Assalamualaikum.
Salam.
My name is Zuhelmi. I'm from Microconcept Technology.
Mm-hmm.
Product brand name is STEM in Me. We offer training for school children from kindergarten to secondary,
Okay.
robotic and science courses.
All right. Nice. Thanks. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Haniza. So I'm from Pasar Kita. So Pasar Kita is the first Malaysian-based technology company offering these urban gardeners to sell organic vegetables and fruits from garden to table. So our urban gardeners are from residents association, organization, institution, school, and even home owners. So our vision is to actually create this optimal knowledge sharing platform for like-minded communities, which provide a sustainable ecosystem for urban farming. And we also addresses the needs of food security as well as stimulating the economies. So we emphasize more on addressing the importance of job creation, as well as the collation and application of quality data trends to benefit our users, communities, and also the policymakers.
Yep. Right. So basically, meaning that the farmers, homeowners, they just go online, selling through your platform. And
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Thanks, Aniza.
I am Aaron. I'm from Pacific Petroleum Gas. We are in the business of distributing liquefied petroleum gas.
Okay. Liquefied. Okay. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jian Chua from Subang Jaya, Selangor.
Oh, hi.
We are in the midst of developing an online platform for gig workers called Terra Tasker.
Online platform for gig workers. Got it.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Vishalini.
Hi, Vishalini.
Hi, I'm from Ampang and currently doing events as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi Reza, my name is Ben. I'm from the Bangsa South area. I run a kids football academy and I'm a football coach also.
Okay. Ben, right? But your name is Steve, so I call you Ben?
Yeah, just call me Ben.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Sulaiman. I'm a farmer. I'm running agriculture. Currently, I'm running crops using fertilization system. I'm from Dulangan.
Okay.
That's all. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Sulaiman. Right, to whoever just joined, so basically I just need you guys to share your name and what you guys do. Just a one-liner is fine.
Hi Reza, my name is Diana. I am a founder of Swag School. So Swag School is actually a wholesome education platform. It's kind of like Airbnb of education. So we basically connect tutors, teachers, subject matter experts to students around the world. And the different thing about us is that it's not just about academics, but we list, all kinds of skills, all kinds of classes, knowledge, right? That covers, like sports, arts, music, anything that's useful. We even have like, for example, Pro Gamer offering their classes for anyone who wants to learn about gaming seriously, for example.
Nice. Thanks. Thank you for sharing. Who else we have here? I have 11 so far. Adam Rosali, okay.
Hi, good evening.
Yep, hi.
I'm Hislik from Kajang. I run two companies. The first one is Devs Asia. We do software development, consultancy, and outsourcing. Second company that I participate this program with is the Ones Academy. This is a new setup where we are setting up a training operation to coach and upskill tech talent to contribute to digital economy.
Nice, nice.
Thank you.
All right. Hi, Samita. Nice to see you. I mean, I know you personally from Social Enterprise. Thanks for sharing, Samita, and also thanks for sharing, Adam. Do I miss anyone?
Yeah, hi. Good
Oh,
evening.
hi, Hayati.
Yeah, I'm Nur Hayati from Shah Alam.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from EasyTech Engineering, Sdn Bhd, incorporated last year. We are based in the Shah Alam, and we are the manufacturing company specialized in the metal sheet fabrication.
Okay.
And our main products are enclosure for safety cabinets.
Okay.
We supply for Chaps and a Falcon as well.
Okay. All right. Thanks for sharing. Good point, manufacturing industry. Let's see. We have Intan. Have you shared yet? Intan, Irene, and Zul. Have you guys shared? Oh, Zoldan. Okay, Intan and Irene. Are you guys there?
Sorry, I tengah travel. Saya Intan dari Raub Pahang. Saya ni supply barang ke 6 sekolah lah. And then the UiTM masak.
Memasak.
Not masak lah. Dia lah masak lah.
Oh, culinary lah, culinary.
Culinary and then part time ngajar masak lah.
Okay, alright, got it.
Okay, itu je lah.
Right, thank you for sharing, everyone. So I'm just taking note here, just to see the diversity of everyone. So it's kind of like, so I can set how the angle on the presentation lah. Because again, everyone, if you do a different kind of business, if you do servicing or if you do product, sorry, let me sorry guys. Okay, right, better. Okay, so again, different kind of product, different kind of service. The structure might be the same, but how you pitch, how you wanna like getting people to understand what you do is different. Okay, so my experience. So basically, I started 2 years in angel investment company. Where at the time, what we do is mostly looking for startups to invest, while also training startups. We work with Cradle, MindF, even Magic at that time to validate the idea and how to do pitching. But after 2 years being in an angel investment company, I started to feel, I mean, of course, after looking a lot of startups, learning from them as well, and looking at the success and looking at some, I won't say failures, I would say difficulties that they face, I decided to start my own company. And lucky for me on my side, we did raise around 1 million ringgit through 4 to 6 months of operation. Where does the 1 million ringgit comes from? It's from grant, it's from competition, and also it's from investment. So having that, even I think there's one time where I was pitching 3 times in 5 days to a different stakeholder, and also for different pillars of the company. Like one is Cradle, where we had to pitch about how to do technology. Then there's one to investors, again different style, and then lastly is different style. And besides that, beyond getting funds raising, through my pitching as well, I was invited to pitch in front of the Duke of York in UK, and it was just a 30-second speech. So of course, pitching is variety. Sometimes you have to pitch for 30 seconds, 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. I think the longest I had is like 20 minutes. This is like pitching 20 minutes, but then it's more than that. I think it's more just like a meeting. But even the meeting is different style as well. And to share, I did also help startups to do a crowdfunding campaign, equity, and myself, I did a reward crowdfunding campaign where we managed to raise within 12 hours. So I hope by having this experience, I'm here today, not coming as like a trainer. I'm coming in by sharing what I did, what I think I did was right, and also some of the things that I did, I feel I could have done better, or my fellow entrepreneurs, I think they could have done better. So just sharing here to everyone, and hope we can totally see how we can really help each other. And the next question I have before I go to the next slide is, maybe this one you don't have to like say in the mic. Maybe you guys can just type. What do you guys expect at the end of this session? I know, like, for one of you guys did already. You guys have a pitching coming next Thursday, so it's okay. I already know, like, some of them you guys just say like, I just want to know how to pitch, or I have pitching to client. Just feel free to type it, and then throughout the line, if I can touch base on that point, I'll emphasize on that, right? So feel free, and whenever, just type it. What is your objective at the end of this session today? Right. So in this presentation today, what I'm going to divide it into 3 areas. 3 areas. One is all about story building. Once you understand how do you want to pitch your idea, how you want to tell your story, then only we're going to go into how to craft your pitch deck. And once you craft your pitch deck, then only you'll be ready to present. So crafting a pitch deck, it involves in terms of what is the element of a pitch deck? What is the principle of doing a pitch deck? How to talk to a different audience, and then common mistakes. And then lastly is, how do you prepare? How do I prepare? So these are the areas inside crafting a pitch deck. And then I would say last part, I will touch a quick one on ECF and P2P, equity crowdfunding and peer-to-peer lending. This is a right, no worries, Irene. So this is the area. ECF and P2P is something I wouldn't say it's a bit uncommon for people to go through, but I feel it's worth to share to you guys. If you guys interested to know more, we can always have a separate session. But today is more like just touching on the tip of the point, so you guys know what is it about, and you guys can explore more. Okay, is this really something I want to do, or is this more of an option? Okay. So again, whatever I train today, at the end of the day, it's all about the best preparation to do good tomorrow is to do good work today. It's like when you play sports, they always say how you play during the game is about how well do you do your training. How invested you are in training that's the result that you get on the pitch day, right? So as much as I can, I hope you guys really participate today, 100%. And then only it makes sense for me to also touch base how I can improve, I can help you guys as well. Right, story building. So my goal today is to give you guys one simple structure nearly for all occasions. Whether you want to talk to investors, you want to talk to your friends and family, you want to talk to competition, the first thing you have to do is to understand the structure, right? Even for me, whenever I want to do a pitch deck, I don't start doing a pitch deck. I start with a structure of how I want to tell the story. So it's all start with an objective, then we go to issue, then we go to insight. I'm gonna go detail into all this right after this, right? So objective, issue, insight, solution, and supporting. So these are 5 elements that we focus on creating a structure when you want to do a story building. So what is objective? So objective is basically the start of the story. What you want to get from objective is you want to get everyone on the same starting point. All right? You want to get them to understand why are you there? Why are you there? Being in front of them. What are you pitching to them? Why are you here? Is it to win competition, to win winning prize? Is it to get their investment? are you there just to share your idea, right? So objective is the first thing that you want to get. And then next one is to clarify your purpose, right? To clarify your purpose. And lastly is to set the stage and expectation. So how do you want to know how good is your objective? Usually if you share something that just like without preparation, just go there and just talk, just straight away start without a clear objective, then you will lose the audience, and basically you don't regain them because they are confused or disinterested. Because even they don't understand why are you there. So when they don't understand, when you go there in front, you try to talk, when they don't understand why you're there, you straight away lost the attention of them. And they're disinterested, they are confused, and because of that, they don't know what you guys want, and you guys miss out the point. But what you want is you basically provide a refreshing view or mission that can connect to that. So after objective, once you identify on the objective, the next part is you share on the issue. What is the problem to address? So by doing this, so you start with objective. Once you have the objective, now you share with the problem. So with the problem, you focuses the audience on the right thing. Okay, now they know why you're here. So now when they know why you're there, now they know, oh, this is the problem you're trying to solve. Then it will increase appreciation of why a solution is needed. When your problem is clear, because sometimes we might think that, sometimes we miss out on the problem because we think that all of them should have known this is a problem. No, some of them might not know. Like example, I would say the example like now, right? The biggest issue that we're facing right now in Selangor is there's always a water cut, right? But if you're talking this to someone in other states, if you don't start with this problem, they'll be like, oh, there's always water. Why is the story of this water cut, right? So that's why it's important to make it clear. What is the problem that you want to address? After we talk about issue, right? After we talk about issue, we go to insight. So in terms of insight, this is the lesson and finding leading to your solution. So this is not a solution yet. After you're done with your problem, the issue is just now you go to insight first. Because you want to help the audience to follow your train of thought. Okay, there's a problem here, there's an issue here. So after that, what is your lesson of finding? So then they go one by one. Then it shows your efforts and quality of thinking. So after you show the effort of quality in thinking, then they set up the why your solution makes sense. After you have all this, so basically what do we determine as a good insight, right? It follows the issue clearly. Once you follow the issue clearly, it shows a deeper understanding, and it also gives you a key points on how it leads to your solution. And then that's where your solution comes in. So a lot of people, when they do their slides, right? When they do their slides, they straight away like, it's okay, straight away come up with a product. So I'm here to tell you about this product. But what the problem is, when you go, you don't share about why you're there, you don't share about what's the issue you're facing, you don't share about the insight that lead to your solution. So that's the biggest pain point when people a bit disconnected to your solution. Right? So that's why once you have objective, you have issues, you have insights, then only you go to solution. Right? So how do you know your solution is at a good degree of it? Means that it makes perfect sense, and it gives you the credibility to solve the issue that you raised previously. Then once you have the solution, then only you go to support. Right? So support is basically just like an additional point, like increase persuasion, and also to complete the presentation. Right? So this is the 5 key points that it's a quick one, because I feel right now all you guys already have a business, you guys are already clear what you guys do. That's why I just want to start with like a warm-up kind of angle, something that you guys already have, you guys already in mind. It's just a matter of structuring again, like with these five key areas. So what I'm going to do here, because I know you guys are going to have a quick break, break at 7, is to straight away go with exercise. All right. So what I want to do is I want you guys to do a quick exercise for probably like we have half an hour. Can you guys, whatever you guys shared to me just now, can you guys separate it into 5 areas? Your objective, your issue, your insight, your solution, and your support. Right? So either you guys, maybe you guys don't need to do in slides. What you guys can do is just like putting a one-liner for each 5. Is that clear enough? This is just like a warm-up exercise for me to just reframe, because just now I know you guys did share about online what you do, right? So now I just want you guys to do like a one-liner for all these 5 angle: objective, issue, insight, solution, support. I'll give you a reference here on how do you guys want to arrange these 5 points, and then I give like a 10-minute, 5 to 10 minutes time for you guys to work it out. Then after that, I hope we can get at least 5 to 10 people to share on your 5 points. Can we do that? Just a quick one. So at least once we have this is clear, it's easier to go through on your pitch deck. Like I know the problem, we can go deeper. Like that one, we'll talk more when you do the pitch deck. Like what is it, the reality of how you want to explain your problem, how you explain your solution. Right now, it's just a simple of these 5 points. All right? You guys okay? You guys can just thumbs up, and then I'll check you guys again like in 10 minutes. All right, thanks. So for now, just again, the homework is basically to do to structure your story based on these 5 points. All right. Whoever have questions, either you guys can unmute or can just type in chat, and then I can reply from there. Right. Hi, Jen. So basically, there's five structure to do a story building. There's objective, issue, insight, solution, and support. So what I want you to do is, based on the business that you're running, I want you to structure your business, your storyline based on these 5 structure. So you may need only like one liner for each one. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Thanks. Right. So what I'll do is, to be fair to you guys, I'll start first. Right. So I'll start first to see how I can implement these 5 insights with what I do. And this is nothing to do with the startup that I run. This is just something that I just did it today. So my objective will be to teach people to pitch better. And my issue is that I've seen a lot of great ideas, but not a clear presentation of what they're trying to achieve. So my insight is, because of that, I decided to run my own startup, use my experience, use my pitch deck, and try to explore whether is it the right. Basically, trying to explore, does my template works well for the program that I attended. And because of that, the solution will be creating a template for pitching module, and supporting will be, I've seen people who change slides within 40 hours after my session, and they won the grant 500,000. So that shows that using my template, they changed the slide and they did win the grant. I'm not saying I'm 100% the reason why they won the grant, but at least the deck changed from a simple like the 3-pager, and then they just fill out the template, and they kind of give them a better chance to win the grant. Right. So now I would like anyone to volunteer. I hope we can have around 5 to 8 people to share, and hopefully whoever shared now, if I have another sharing session, I won't pick you guys again. So who wants to share first? If not, I can just pick a name here. I will start with maybe I can start with Asnawi. Maybe you want to start?
Cikgu tak siap lagi, baru sampai insight tengah blur.
Okay, tak apa. Let's see who else. Boleh. Niza, nak share ke? Boleh share? Oh betul, nama memang plan nak tanya Niza pun.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me share. But actually, I already have my pitch deck ready because normally I have few pitch deck for different crowds. You see.
Yep.
Give me 1 minute.
It's okay. Just share the 5 points.
Okay. The objective is basically what we're looking at is to is what I shared earlier. Where's my form just now? So our objective is purely about, like I did mention earlier, to optimal knowledge sharing platform for like-minded communities.
Okay.
Provide the sustainable ecosystem for urban farming and address the needs of food security as well as stimulating the economy. So, sorry?
The issue?
The issue that we're looking at right now is the storage based on our first stage of Pasar Kita. We sat down with team members and look what are the problems that they're facing right now. So the current problems that the community urban farming facing right now is the storage, the logistic, the platform, a proper platform for this community urban farming, and also the fresh produce. So fresh produce is part of it. I would say food securities. Food securities, it's a very broad details, so I shall not go into details.
Yeah, and then the insight you already shared, because you did mention about you go through with them based on your first batch, right?
That's right.
And solution is and the solution is creating a platform.
Yeah, so our second stage is giving a platform to the urban gardeners, this urban farming platform for the communities, and we also assist them on the storage and logistic, and also job creation. So these are the main areas that we're looking at for this.
And your support will be what will you give as your support right now? supporting what you do?
Support currently, okay, from DOSM, okay, from DOSM, we have in Klang Valley right now is about 7.7 million in Klang Valley, and 2.3 million potential growers from age of 40 to 70 years old.
Okay.
And we're looking at 1% of these 2.3 million. That's about 23,000 growers in Klang Valley. So what we have right now in our database. So that was the first phase. With this kind of support, this is where we come in because our growers will be more on the 40 to 70 years old. So these are the group of people who will be helping us to grow these community gardens, home growing kind of stuff. So our early traction would be we partnered with BKL and we also partnered with CRES. So these are the elements that we have. And our current
sorry, I wanna I'll cut you off for now. That's a good insight. So first of all, there was a good insight. You're giving a lot of details, right? But what we really want to try to angle, the reason why I'm asking for like at least a one-liner, because at the end of the day, when you talk to people, right, you want to get a hook first.
That's right.
So that's where the angle of having a one-liner, because right now you're already like pitching like a full story. Your traction is great. It's great, but let's try to. I mean, like for different session later when I have a session with you or not, it's more like trying to find like a shorter one-line, because again, you have so many solutions, you have so many insights, and decided what is the one that you feel can hook people to say like, okay, I want to know more from you. Okay. Right. But for now, I'll go with other participants first. Then later, if we have like another session, that's where we want to make it short. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing.
You.
All right. Anyone else want to share? So remember, this is like what I'm trying to suggest here is by having a one-liner, how like just a simple like elevator pitch kind of style, where people already understand what you're trying to do. All right. Anyone else want to try? Yeah.
Maybe I can try.
Oh, sorry. Who else was just now? Hafiza. Okay. After Hafiza is Benjamin. Okay. All right, Hafiza.
Okay, my objective is to be the first pharmacist in Malaysia to make an organic skincare. So current issue now is the problem with most of the customer is to get a reliable source of cosmetic in the industry. So because most of it is like product, the OEM product. So my insight is Tanaka main property originally itself, it contains antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, whitening, and antioxidant property. And my solution is I'm going to use it in its original form as a powder, incorporated it to make a skincare. And for support, so I hope I can solve people problem with a sensitive skin problem. So yeah.
Okay, I think there was the first four is good. Just that for the last one, in terms of support, right now, have you start selling, or do you have a prototype already out and running?
Yeah, we are selling now on our website www.tanakamalaysia.com.my, and our raw material Tanaka powder now has been certified by SIRIM for all its relevant tests.
Yeah, so I think the SIRIM part should be your support.
Because I see.
Because just when you start a solution and you say like you hope people can use this, so it's not a strong indicator that the product is already out there and it's already proven. So to make the support is strong, so that example, if people hear about you, they might hear like a lot of people are doing something, I wouldn't say similar, but someone already in the pharmacy industry and all stuff. But when you're like, oh wow, you already got like SIRIM support, now I want to talk to you.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
So the support is more like something differentiate you guys from other competitors, so-called.
I see. All right.
All right. Thanks for sharing. All right, Ben.
All right. Okay, so my objective is to be the one-stop football academy for children of all ability levels, from beginner all the way to aspiring professional footballers. Now, the issue is nowadays we see a lot of children being bored at home, always playing games on their mobile and PCs. And also this leads to your child having a lack of social interaction. My insight is this. Socially isolated children are at an increased risk of health problems in adulthood. And also studies have shown that lack of social relationships negatively impacts the development of the brain structure and will lead to mental health issues in adulthood. Solution: because we employ special play methods in our academy, we manage to spark genuine interest and children always look forward to our training sessions. Support: our low coach to student ratio, which is 1 coach to 8 students, ensures that your child has sufficient focus and attention throughout each session. And our diverse base of players and coaches will ensure that your child will gain wholesome interactional opportunities to develop into a global citizen.
Yep, sounds good. Yeah, totally clear what you're trying to do and totally differentiate you guys. I mean, might not be super differentiator, but at least you guys did mention about like 1 to 8 ratio, and it covers the issue that you're trying to solve. Right.
Okay.
Maybe you can get another 2 or 3 people to share.
Maybe I can share.
Okay,
Our objective is to have a generation of makers with strong foundation and deep moral value.
Okay.
And as for the issue, of late we are seeing that there is a lack of interest in makers activities in children of young age. This is due to the addiction to gadget, lack of interesting makers activities out there, and parents have limited time to curate activities for their children. For the insight, we did a survey on this and we found that many parents are having the problem, especially that there is no interesting makers activities out there for the family to sit, and I'm not too sure about this insight because I'm not too familiar with this. For solution, we design, innovate and produce full hands-on activity box for children and parents and educators. It is not for the children to do it by themselves, but it is for the whole family, parents to sit down and do the activity together, as we provide a storyboard as guideline for them to do the storytelling and everything. As for support, we get feedback from customers who we have written customers keep buying each of our new release products.
Okay.
So, and also for this part, I am not too sure how to to do it. Yeah.
So what I can quickly try to tweak, right? So I think I understand that you have a goal to create more makers, right? But I think based on what you shared just now, it's more about quality time between parents and kids, because you did mention about quality time while also improving the creativity of kids. So I think because when you go into issue, you mentioned about parents don't have enough time, because when you talk about there's lack of makers, I noticed on the inside, on your solution and your support, it doesn't really connect to the, I mean, is there at the end of the goal or what you're trying to do, but it doesn't really direct related for now in the early stage. So if you focus on the lack of time for parents to spend time with the kids, so during your insight, you can look for like a research or statistic to show that in Malaysia, like what's the percentage of, there must be a data to show like percentage of data of parents spend time with kids, or percentage that kind of that shows that parents don't really have time. Why parents don't have time, or maybe insight of if you want to go into makers, then you can go to insight of how many people spend time using gadget instead of going on ground, right? Like just now I think like Ben's point, he can also have an insight about how people like now, how many kids are playing with gadget rather than playing sports outside, outdoor sports. So same goes to you, but yours is more related to like makers, like toy or activities, right? And then your solution is clear. And then your support, I think it's just a matter of like you can start by saying like how many you have repeat customer, percentage of repeat customers, and in fact, if you're talking about creating a module of how kids can be a maker, then you should have, maybe you can have data of how many products have been or toy have been complete made by the kids, right? Because they are trying to do it themselves. Okay, so that's one option. So I think you need to focus on what is the issue that you want to push, or what's the objective you want to push, and then you go slowly on that. Okay. All right, Zul, you wanna say something? All right.
Yes. Can I try?
Can.
Okay. As mentioned, our product is STEM in Me product name. Our objective is to develop and deliver STEM and robotics program, draw more students to love science and mathematics educations, regardless of their background. The issue is government reported that still very low number of students have benefited and have interest in STEM program, i.e. science and mathematics. From years to years, we can see more and more graduates of science and mathematics. Okay. As for the insight, we get a snapshot from the International Mathematics and Science Study showing that dropping in points as far as Malaysia is concerned.
Okay.
Then there's a snapshot from the Education Ministry also saying from 2010, 2014, there's a dropping number of students in science and maths.
Okay.
Okay, as far as solution, so we developed a proprietary STEM program developed in Malaysia by us, our own team, so that we can control, the costing. We make sure that our STEM program exhibit STEM essence that is relevant in everyday life, so that the children, when they do our STEM program, they can relate back to their subject they learn in school, which is science and mathematics. So it makes sense for them when they go back to the school.
Yep.
And lastly, making sure that the STEM program is affordable, because STEM and robotics program is affordable, because we know that most of robotics program is very very exclusive. Only student can have access to robotics program before.
Yep.
We try to make it as affordable as possible, even to the underserved community.
Okay.
Support. We actually have already teach in more than 30 schools. More than 200 students have graduated our program. We already have more than 40 modules, varying from as simple modules for kindergarten kids until to advanced and expert level for the secondary school students.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. So two points I'll add here. Number one, in terms of insight, right? Because just now, this is like elevator pitch, right? Instead of talking about your snapshot, I think just now you did mention about the problems. The second problem they share is already an insight, so it's okay because you did mention about how many students drop out, everything. So I think that's already can be considered as an insight. In terms of your solution, you giving a lot of features and benefits, like affordable and other areas, right? I think in terms of that, it's best to just maybe mention one or two first, and choose the one that is strong benefit of your solution, and then that's good enough. Because again, act this as like an elevated pitch. You don't have to tell all, because if you tell a bit, right, if they want to know more, they will ask you questions. In the case of you not sure what is the one that really benefit someone, that's why you have to share as many as to a lot of people as you can. Then you see which one that they give feedback, then you know, this is something that you have to push. This is something what people like about my product. Okay, because it's normal. We always have a lot of problem to solve. We have a lot of solution that we can suggest, but focus on the strong one first. Let them hook by you, then only you tell more. Okay?
Thank you. Excellent.
Nice. Thanks. Hisley, are you want to share something just now?
Yeah. Hey, how do you know?
Yeah, I'm checking.
Okay.
All right.
Yes. Here we go. We are the Ones Academy, and we are here to build community for digital talents in ASEAN. Every tech company we have spoken to is struggling to hire great digital talent. In average, it will take them 4 weeks to hire one talent.
Okay.
In 2022, our market in Malaysia will be facing the shortage of 100,000 digital talents. We are creating a coaching program to upskill digital talents and support them re-enter the marketplace. And all of our coaches are practicing CTOs and tech leaders. That's all I have now.
Yes, perfect. I think that's totally clear. It's totally like a simple one full paragraph of what you do, and you really touch all points. I mean, the good thing, like I think what others can try to understand how Hislik did it is that I don't even have to ask like what's the, they don't even need to mention what's the insight, what's the solution, but all his point, one sentence is equivalent to one area. Thanks for sharing, Hislik. I think that's really a good one.
Thank you.
Right, due to time for prayers, we'll take a break until 7:34, and then we'll continue with one or maybe another 2 or 3, and then we'll share more. Right, Asnawi, you're one of it, because since you're gonna leave by 8, so I'm gonna ask you right after the session. All right, guys, see you guys in half an hour. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back. Let's see. I think we have almost everyone lah. If I'm not wrong, but again, let's just, because I think what I want to do is I want to get another 2 or 3 people to share, and then we'll start the next session. Maybe Asnawi can start the ball rolling. Okay, boleh. Alright.
Okay. Because my business is on training, focusing on corporate grooming, personal branding. So, tapi saya tulis bahasa Melayu sebab Inggeris ni tak berapa cantik.
Melayu pun tak apa, tak ada masalah.
Untuk membina setiap individu keyakinan diri yang tinggi berdasarkan pembentukan imej yang betul. Isunya adalah ramai orang ingat image sekadar penampilan, tetapi image mesti consist of 4 aspek, iaitu penampilan, perbuatan diri, cara komunikasi dan juga bagaimana kita bawa secara digital. Berdasarkan satu kajian in terms of ni kajian dia cerita tentang the formality of clothing might not only influence the way others perceive a person and how people perceive themselves, but could influence decision making in important ways through its influence on processing style. Maknanya setiap orang yang pandai menjaga imej diri, automatik dia akan memberi kesan dalam memberi keputusan yang lebih baik. Dan servis saya adalah membantu setiap individu, lelaki atau wanita, untuk mempackagekan diri supaya menjadi satu imej diri yang kita sendiri suka, menyebabkan orang lain suka dengan kita. Dan akhir sekali, disebabkan pembelajaran memerlukan masa, to support each and every one of you, we do additional coaching for complimentary untuk setiap peserta yang menyertai. Gitulah dua.
Oh, okay. The first 4 okay. I mean insight tu macam panjang sikit, so nak explain tu kan. Tapi dari segi support tu macam tak cukup clear. So support tu macam awak ni support dah macam nak promosi, dah macam marketing kan. So support tu kena cari apa yang so macam tengok isu dengan insight dia macam lebih kurang. Saja problem kan isu insight ni. Lepas tu insight dengan support pun sebenarnya lebih kurang juga. Kalau support ni usually if we have a business, right? If we have a business yang we do, if we really start selling or really start getting people to use, then it can be a support for the solution. Okay,
is it like some sort of testimoni boleh juga ke?
Boleh juga, testimoni pun boleh. So that's support. Tapi kalau contoh, in the case where you guys have a solution, but you guys haven't launched anything yet, right? So of course, if you guys don't have anything yet, then you guys might not have a support. So your support can just be another insight.
Understand?
So if you already start your business, make sure your support is a real life testimony.
Okay.
Attraction ke, contoh it could just be as easy like, so in the last 2 months, we have been featured in 5 media. Boleh juga. So what support is basically, what is yang buat people can believe, oh, this actually already up there, or this is it's a good product to use, good service to use. Okay. So another example is support could be insight. Ini support insight kan lebih kurang sama kan? It could also be a survey. So 80% of people who use our product said this. Okay. And then in terms of how to get a good number, sometimes a survey can be maybe 4 orang je jawab, tapi if you change to percentage nampak lagi besar kan. So finding the right word. So if you to recap, issue and insight could be the same because it's all about problem you're trying to solve and what leads to ni semua to the solution. Insight and support could be related as well, meaning that if you have a product or service that haven't launched yet, your insight can be a support. But if you already launch, then you share lah what is something that already supporting your product. Okay.
So including kalau contoh, to date we have we have helped more than 10,000 individuals. Itu pun as support lah.
Yes, correct. Because when you talk to people, they want to end it by understanding. Because okay, some judges or some investor, they are coming in the early stage, meaning if they are coming in the early stage, meaning that they want to meet someone yang even maybe belum start, it's fine. But majority of investors or even judges, they want to see what have you done. They want to see, have you done something? So that's why it's important to show that you guys have done something. So like for me, when I started my business before, I joined a program apa semua, I just use a survey. This is joining a program lah. It's not really getting money. So I joined a program. I said that in 3 days, I got 300 respondents. 90% believe that the product is good for the market. That's why we believe that by joining this program, we can help us to build this product, to materialize this product. So again, so that's why it depends on where your stage. So and then after that, when I joined a competition pula, my support was, I already launched my website. I already launched my app. My website 2 months ago, and I'm getting an increase of revenue 10% every month. So then, okay, this is a growing business. So we want to support you. So that's why it depends on your stages of what you're doing lah. Okay. So Asnawi tadi, I think your support tu kena tukar. So tadi you are doing a marketing.
Oh, okay.
Giving a complimentary free apa semua kan. So that's not a support, that's like more like market lah sebenarnya. Okay. Alright, can we get another one or two to share? Maybe another one to share?
I'll try.
Anyone?
I'll try.
Okay. Yeah. Hi.
Hey, Ritza and everyone. Okay. So Swag School is a global platform that offers wholesome education classes, so covering broad spectrum of learning, which include traditional academics such as maths and sciences, as well as arts, music, sports, or even specialized skills such as pitching ideas for crowdfunding. In 2020, COVID-19 pandemic hit the world. Schools and universities are closed. Most students are now at home for many months. Both parents and children are getting restless, so education is disrupted globally. According to UNESCO, governments around the world have closed education institutions to contain the spread of COVID-19 pandemic. This consists of 130 country-wide closures, 56.6 learners globally, which translates into almost 1 million students. Swag School connects educators, teachers, tutors, subject matter experts to students around the world, making both online and private physical education accessible to fulfill people's education needs and budget to ensure continuous learning even during pandemic times. Swag School just launched on 1st November. However, we already have about more than 200 classes which is offered by teachers from around the world, including Korea, Japan, Saudi Arabia, Malaysia, Singapore, and more.
Okay. I think it's a bit too detailed. It's clear. We clear what we do, but that's already almost like a pitch, not an elevated hook. So what you can do is you can just reduce on the problem that you shared just now, and also your insights. I think just now you have 2 insights, and you share about three problems just now, 3 to 4 problems. Okay, so choose the one that is that you know is really a main issue, and one insight that because in fact even your insight point why you can only maintain one insight is because this is only for elevator pitch, not for full pitch. Why it's important? I mean, it's okay for you to read your insight because you already mentioned about the COVID situation. You're talking about your issue just now. You already mentioned about the COVID situation, which is a global pandemic. So meaning people already understand about because on your point, it's really clear. Like the main, I would say, one thing that people already commonly understand is that COVID really messed up like everyone's situation, and also with COVID, it improved on digitalization. So I think these are 2 areas that you already like cow team kind of thing, like you're already trying to solve. So you can reduce that one. You can only just, I mean, it's okay to put just one insight because because everyone lifespan is short. If people are standing up, their lifespan is really, really short because they meet a lot of people. And if people are standing down, it's more like pitching. Yes, fine, they want to hear more. Okay, so it's more like a hook, just cut it short, but it's clear. I mean, we understand what you do. Just try to make it a bit shorter.
Okay, thank you, Riza. Thanks.
All right, so so thank you for sharing the like elevator pitch kind of thing, because right now, of course, because more and more are going to virtual, global, so the idea of elevator pitch might not be used as often if you're in a physical event, but it's something that you can use if, I mean, this is a better, like a golden opportunity. You hardly go out during event. If you have a chance to go out, make sure you use it wisely. I experienced it. I experienced literally elevator pitch. I was in, I think, New Central. I was from level 3. I was pitching to a director of Giant at that time. Level 3 to basement 2. I just pitched, and then she, after reached basement 2, and then she was like, "Okay, follow me to my car. Now I want to know what are you asking from me." So I think that is a one-off opportunity, and after that we managed to have a meeting with them lah. So you never know when is the best time, but it's important to get that hook, and hopefully, and then after that it's more like once they want to know more, then only explain, like bring a pitch deck and all stuff lah. Okay, so now the next area that we are going in is to basically creating a presentation deck. How to craft your pitch. So what I'm going to share today is basically a full list of items that you need to have in your presentation deck. Meaning that you have this deck, you can totally do like, I think, a 5 minutes or even a 10 minutes pitch. But if you want to reduce, maybe your pitch is 3 minutes or 2 minutes or 1 minute or even 30 seconds, the only thing you need to do from there is to remove which deck yang you can is not really major important for that particular pitch. Okay, so this is like a basic guideline, what you need to have if you have a full presentation, but for certain area, you might not need it for that particular program or pitch. So the first one, the main thing, if you want to present, is always a problem statement. In fact, before problem statement come in, it's your cover page. So what do you need in your cover page? Usually in your cover page, of course, number one, what is your company name? If you have a product or service or website, a photo, or maybe if you have an app, a photo of your app. If you're a product, a photo of your product. So once you have your name, a photo of your product or your service or your website, you must also have a one-liner. Why do you need a one-liner? So that could, imagine usually when you come to an office, example, you want to pitch to client, right? So you open your laptop, you put your adapter, then while the deck is up, you have like 5 seconds to 10 seconds before they are saying that, okay, you can start pitching. Same goes with competition. Same goes to pitching investment, anything. Your cover is you, is what you're trying to present. Basically, your cover can be your objective. Example, your cover could be making the world a better place or making the world a greener place. Then they straight away see it, oh, this must be something to do with environment. Or your cover could be creating opportunities for kids. Then when they see your cover, they straight away understand. They straight away angle, oh, okay, this is about education, or this is about a product, cosmetic product, right? So name or a logo, your photo of your product, and a one-liner. This is to prep them. So this is like your free advertising before you even start. Sometimes orang nak settle down, the judges want to drink water or anything. At least you have a free advertising for what you're trying to do. Okay. Once you're done with your cover, then you go to a problem statement. Because sometimes we tend to solve many problems that I mentioned just now. But because it's the first slide, always start with an undebatable statement. Right. So I'll go through, the best thing I can go through with a startup that I did previously called GrabCycle. So the aim is reduce food waste. So when I start, I straight away start, there's 15,000 food waste in Malaysia, where it could feed 2.2 million people with 3 meals a day. Bam. So start with undebatable statement so that they understand, wow, this is the biggest issue. This is a big issue, right? So, I mean, again, I'm sharing the flow of how I want to pitch, but later you guys, I know some of you guys might ask later, oh, but what if I start with a team, but a story is fine, okay? But one thing you have is problem statement, right? Start with what is a major problem statement you want to do, and then elaborate on all the issues that you have on the minor side. Okay, once you start with a problem statement, then you go to a solution or your product. Can be 2 slides, can be 1 slide. So the solution is basically answering your problem with a simple headline or sharing the insight that we shared just now. So after the problem statement, you go through the insight, then this is how come up with a solution. So this is where you showcase your product. There could be a step-by-step how to use it. It could be about the technology. I think like Zulhami talking about STEM. So it could be how the STEM works. Then talking about your, right? So you share about your solution. You share with this. Now you go to your market validation. How big is your market? So this depends on your circumstances. Okay, if you don't have any competitors locally, look for global. If you have competitors local, whether it's direct or indirect, it's fine. Okay, the reason why you need to separate, right? Example, you can't go to any presentation and say that you don't have a competitor. When judges or investors sees that, the first thing they will say is that you are not doing your research. Because highly likely your idea, there might be somewhere out there who doing, even if not exactly similar, it's almost similar. So if you have a local competitor, you just have to separate why, like I think in terms of market, if you are local, at least they know, oh, okay, sorry, this is not differentiate between competitor yet, right? This is just a market size or market validation. If they know that someone is out there, then for you, you can use their demographic. How many users? So example, if you're doing food delivery service, you can just say like, there's already like 8 delivery service in Malaysia. So they know, okay, this is already a service that's out there, meaning that maybe the cost of you need to do, your marketing cost might be lower because people already know how to use it. But if you're saying that it's not available in Malaysia, it's already being done in Japan, then they will feel like, okay, if they want to join in your company, invest in your company, they might need to give more money for marketing, for awareness. Right? That's why it's important to see the local government. Or another way, if they say like, okay, it's never been done, it's been done in Europe, now it's just a matter of time, it will be happening in Malaysia. So it's important to check if you have a global or local market for this. And so they want to see whether you have done your homework. Because I know a lot of people, when they present, they see they don't have a market valuation, they don't have market size, then the investors know that this group of idea, they never done anything. Why should you invest when they don't even take the first step or trying to do more research for their business? Okay, in terms of market size, you know how big is your size? How big can you go? If you start a business today, what is your revenue? How big can you? How many people can you reach out? Of course, you don't say like, okay, example, my market size is 1 million. I'm selling a product at 20 ringgit. You cannot say like, okay, within 1 year I will get 20 million. That won't happen. But they know maybe like, okay, maybe this year is like 500,000. So at least they know, okay, this is how big is the size and how big can you go and what's your limit. Basically, this is another term they call it is total addressable market, right, for your business. Next, then after they know how big can you go, this is where financial comes in. Financial comes in the sense of, number one, of course, your business model. How do you make money when you run a business? Whether it's, in the chat just now, we talk about social enterprise. Yeah, whether it's a social enterprise, whether it's a tech business, whether it's a product business, whether it's service business, how do you make money? In terms of how you make money, even if you're not making money now, maybe you do a freemium model, or you're just out there to validate the idea. How do you make money in the long run? So if you are running a tech startup, whoever that's running a tech startup there, you understand sometimes the first 1 year is you're not making any money at all. Even Zalora or Lazada, they might not be making money at all now, but they work on the basis of fundraising. It's fine, because what's important is investors know that, okay, they might not make money now, but they somehow plan to make money because they have an idea of business model. But if someone just come in and like, I have this idea, I want to launch this. I want to launch this mineral water bottle, I want to give for free. And then, do you have a business model? No. Then they're like, why should I invest in this guy? He never even planned to have a business model. Yeah, even like WhatsApp, I'm pretty sure you guys know, like before this, there are always rumors that they want to charge people to use WhatsApp, everything. At least they had an idea to explore. If it didn't work out, it's fine. But at least you have a plan to tell your investor or program that you do have an idea to do. Just a matter of validating the market, whether it's ready for the business model or not. If you're not sure how to charge, then look at your competitor or your similar products. How do they charge the others? For example, I know sometimes the toughest when you have co-founders, one will be like, hey, I want to get as many profit as I can. Another founder will say something like, I want to charge at least just enough for customer to buy. I don't want to charge high, then suddenly when customer don't buy, it look bad, price is low. So if you're unsure, look for competitors and then see how do they charge their customers. Then after you have your business model, you go into projection. Your projection usually could be around 3 to 5 years projection. How do you project? There's no right answer for it. You're all based on your business. If you think if your product is something that is quite like already common for people to use, then yes, maybe you can really project high because people already know how to use it. If your product is more like something you have to educate, that it might take time, right? If you have a different business model, so it might take time. So it's like 3 to 5 years projection, and some of the things that you have to add, like average revenue per customer, customer growth, churn rate, customer lifetime. There's so many more. But sometimes all these numbers might not needed to push. In fact, sometimes when you pitch, there's also an option for you to not show your projection first. When you present, you can show your business model, but I will also suggest, if you're not confident of your business model, if you don't think that your business model is your strong point, you can even opt for your business model to be put in the appendix, because if they want to ask, then at least you have the appendix. Say like, okay, this is my business based on my projection. This is what I have. But if they don't ask, it's fine. So this is more like how to say, if I'm a typical trainer, I will tell you guys, hey guys, make sure you put your projection inside. But me as a presenter, I mean, I pitched before. I've multiple program, multiple like grant competition that I joined. I managed to avoid putting projection because I feel like, because I run a tech startup and I feel my projection might not be my strength. So I decided to hide it. It's not that I didn't do it, it's just I put an appendix. Meaning if they ask, then I'll share. If they don't ask, it means that they already understand it clear and they do believe that this thing can grow, and at least I pass on that point. Right? So if you think that your projection might not be your strength, you can put it in an appendix. Okay. So after financial is go to market and competitors. So now you had your problem statement, you show your solution and products, you show this is your market size, and this is how you want to go through a business model. So now how do you want to go to market? How do you want to reach the market size that you shared earlier with your business model that you have? Right? So this one, how you want to penetrate the market, how you want to achieve what you aim. Okay, this is on go to market, because they want to know, does this guy really have a plan, or this guy just show without any data that he has. In terms of competitors, now is the time you go deep, you dig deeper in your competition. Who's there? What's the name? So don't be shy to mention who's your competitor, because sometimes your competitor if you share who's your competitor, it might help you in a sense like, okay, they know who they are and maybe you guys can be better. So it's okay to share, because they also want to know, are you the first one? Are you the new ones fighting against the norm? And then also after you share your competitor, then you do your competitive advantage. So one of the common mistakes that I see when people do the competitive advantage is that people tend to show like they are the best. Like, yes, you guys are the best, but they tend to show that you are far, far, far better than anyone else. That's wrong. Example, if you see, there's always do like a comparison, like a box. Like suddenly you guys tick everything, but your competitor all only tick 1 or 2. No, try to make it like at least like a 5. Oh, sorry, projection. Yes, projection is your financial projection. Like what's your revenue that you aim for year 1, year 2, and year 3, or even the year 5. And usually for projection, you usually only need a top line value. Either is what's your revenue or what's your profit. That's all. Usually they only need top line, because again, this is just a presentation to hook. Unless this is a presentation to a meeting, like second or third meeting with an investor, that one is different. That one, yes, you have to do like your cost of goods sold, your salary, your employee salary. That one, yes. This is more like a 5-minute page or 10-minute page. Then it's just like what's your total revenue you're aiming for and what's your total profit. Okay. So go back to your competitive advantages now. Try to show that at least even your competitor has like a great features, and then you are like 1 or 2 features better. Not like by far better, but there are certain areas that you're totally unique from that. I've seen people like totally put everyone only have 1 star, and then suddenly they have 5 star because they have all these features that they have. And then in the case that you might not have like really a big advantages, like example, your features is all the same. I think I would say the cheat code for that is probably your demographic. So sometimes you might have similar features with your competitor, but the demographic is different. So it's still fine. You can just share like, okay, this kind of product, they are targeting the M40 and T20, or this kind of product is only targeting KL and Selangor. My product is targeting the Johor, Melaka, Nisman area. It's still fine. Okay, because at least they know, okay, this is targeting a different segment. It's worth to explore, because they will be like, okay, maybe there's an option. The KL or similar startup in KL Selangor might want to buy out you guys. So find something that what is you guys' unique selling point, just as long as it's not too obvious that the difference between you guys and also the competitor. Next will be team. So even though I put teams like number 6 here, but based on all the research that I have, I talked to a lot of investors, I joined a lot of programs, I talked to a lot of judges. Team is by far the most important slides. Whatever you do, this is by far the most important criteria in what they want to choose in a startup or in an idea, anything. Why? Because idea is cheap. Everyone can do what you do. The only difference is you. Meaning that, example, you can share whatever you do to anyone around the world. Like example, if I choose your name, like Asnawi can share to all the people here what he does from A to Z. But what makes the difference is how he do it. His character, his hustler, he's a hustler, example, right? So how he do it is the one that making the difference. So that's why it's important for investors or judges, especially investor, why they look at team, because they say like, is the team coachable? Is the team is the one who doesn't matter if they fall 9 times, will they stand out on the 10th time? Right. So I remember when I was working in an angel investment company, we had this one startup who pitched to us, and then I was in the room. I just joined like a few months, and then after they present, then my boss came to me and asked like, would you invest in that startup? Then I'm like, it's nice, it's targeting youth, but I don't think we will invest because they don't have a business model at the time. Their business model is not strong, and they are fighting they're like a content creator. So meaning that there's already YouTube up there, there's already Netflix out there. How will differentiate them, right? And the only thing that my boss at the time told me is that we will invest in them because based on their background, their experience, their history, even if we don't invest in them, they're still going to do it. So meaning that it's based on their character. Even there's even a startup who pitched to investor by showing all the failure that say like, this is the 6th startup that I did. For some people, they might think, right, you're afraid to show your failure because you're afraid people might think that, oh, they already failed 5 times, or they always do something that is not going to work. But actually, for some judges, they might feel like, okay, 5 times, they still going to work on it. I'm going to take a risk. Maybe it's the 6th time lucky. Right, so team is really important about yourself and also about your team, your team members, right? So why you do what we do? Do you have the expertise of it? So example, if I take Mr. Zol, example, he's doing a STEM. Like, does he really know what he's doing in STEM? Right? If I take Ben, he's doing Kids Football Academy, and he mentioned about he's a football player as well. So now, knowing that he's a football player, then I feel like, oh, of course, if he got paid to play football previously, of course he went through a lot of training, a lot of programs, and he's not another guy who just playing football, community manager at home or things like that. So this is just example, okay? If you guys already involved, like example, I would take Adam. He's doing restaurant business. If he runs a restaurant, then it totally makes sense that he wants to do that particular business, right? Last one, after you do, what about team as well? Sometimes I notice some people put their advisor. It's okay if you have time. There's no problem to share about your advisor, but if not enough time, it's not really important. Okay. So the last one will be your ask. After writing all of this, if you forget about your ask, then you kind of like, unfortunately, you might waste your time. Because after listening to all your pitching, again, you don't recap to them again, what is your ask, then they'll just be like, okay, why are you here again? So example, if you're looking to ask for grants, meaning that your ask will be, I'm here to win the competition. I'm going to use this 200,000 ringgit for this. So your ask is like, what are you here for? How do you want to utilize the funds? So if you're looking for investor, Like your ask should be, I'm here seeking for 500,000 for 5% equity. And this equity will give me a 2-year runway, example. If you, and sometimes in the essence of you'll be like, so as example, you just raise funding, but then you join a competition, and then you'll be like, I don't need to pitch here because I already received investment. That's wrong. Because you're already there to present. Even if you already have your funding in, you can present in a way like, what else do you need besides funding? You might need networking. You might need, I'm here looking for expert in fashion industry. I'm here to looking for experts in like software development industry. So the ask is where is basically like your 1 or 2 last slides to recap them, like why are you here and what you need to do and what are you requesting from them. Okay, and usually besides funding, if you even can share like besides funding what else do you need, that will be great. Like I'm here to look for someone who have connection in F&B. Sorry, let me mute. Okay, so I would say one few slides that you can add here just as additional is your traction. I didn't put here in any order. It's your traction, meaning if you appear in media, if there's testimony, you already have done like a research or a survey. So traction can be anywhere. Because sometimes if you already appear in media, you can put it in. Okay. So example, if you are doing like what do you call it? Let's see what's next. If you are doing a 30-second speech, then you can choose what do you want to put in. So usually for like a competition or program or grant provider, they will usually only allow you between roughly, I mean on average is 3 to 5 minutes. If 3 to 5 minutes, I would say sometimes if we sometimes you can avoid projection, you can avoid detail in your financial slides, and also sometimes you can avoid your go-to-market. So it depends on how you present. Because truth to be told, 5 minutes is quite long. 3 minutes is just nice. If you do, like example, when I was in UK, I had to do 30 seconds. What I spent on my 30 seconds was 10-second problem, 10-second my products, my solution to product, and another 10-second was my ask. So problem, I just say simple like, food waste is a big issue globally. We wasted X number of food in the world. I'm here, GrabCircle is a platform that connects surplus food and beneficiaries. I'm here to look for anyone who has expert in farming industry, agriculture, if you want to connect me so that I can open in UK, example, right? So having this kind of category is easier for me when I had to do presentation. I can just plug and play, right? So this is how you maintain on what needs to be put in the slides, what's not. That is one option based on the timing. Second option, based on the program. So example is the program is talking about what do you call it? Giving you grant to build a tech or an app. I would say if you guys know like a Cradle grant, right? Cradle fund. They give grant for you to build a tech. So in that sense, you might not need to put like what do you call it? Like that traction might not even relevant if you apply for grant to build a tech. Because what I need there is to just show that you have a problem, you have a tech solution, and you have a business model. I mean, you have a market size, you have a business model. Your go-to-market might not be needed because it's a development grant. How you want to build your app, and then you have a team. So that's why it depends on the program that you apply. Okay, in terms of how to handle the audience, we'll cover it later. Okay, we have a question. If we haven't appeared in media but will appear soon, can we include in as well? Ideally, no, because they will look for it. I mean, if they look for it, then it will look bad on you. Because they will feel like you're lying, you say you're appearing, but it's not. So ideally, no. only put media that you appear in. Media is basically, if you appear in media, I would say it depends on, sorry guys. Okay, can you guys hear me? All right, sorry, there's a, all right, so media is not really like a strong validation, but if you don't have any, you can put in, but it's not really like exactly a strong point to put it inside. Okay, next is crafting. So far so good? Any other questions? Okay, if I'm going too fast, if I'm going too slow, let me know, okay? Right, so next will be crafting your pitch deck. So what is a pitch deck? Like I keep on telling you guys, it's a hook. It's a hook, it's a storytelling, it's a visualization of your potential, and it's yourself, right? You is your own pitch deck, meaning that how you craft your pitch deck is how people look at you. So if, example, when you are applying a program, you're sending an email, you already send a proposal, this is what you do. So when you send and you create a pitch deck, it's no longer like a full long words of proposal. It's already like a visualization, like a snapshot, a one-liner or two-liner of what you're trying to do. Because it's no longer like putting like a full slides with a full word. So it's more like pointers, like what I did here, right? So remember, it must be just a pointer. It's a visualization. That's why it requires more and more image or photos of your product, photo of your product, photo of your app, photo of your services. And why I say it's you, right? Because this is your representative. If you're not there, this is what they're gonna read about you. That's what they're gonna look at you. So that's why it's important to make your slides simple, vibrant, and engaging. Right. Next is, what is the principle of pitch deck? Again, like I mentioned, it's clear and simple. It must be engaging and compelling and easy to act on. When people see your pitch deck, they know what are they expecting from this. If you have a pitch deck that is full of words, they don't even know which one that they want to focus on. And the last one is 80-20. Like I mentioned just now, whether you want to do your pitching or you want to do your pitch deck, what you need to do is prepare, build a structure first. What do you want to put in your deck? Like my personal experience in doing a pitch deck, what I do is always I take a piece of paper, then I divide it into like multiple boxes, like 8 boxes or even 12 boxes. And then I put step by step. What is page 1, page 2, page 3. I create like what the pointers I want to put inside first. Then I'll build, then I create the deck. Once I did my story flow, I understand what I want to do, then only I start to beautify my slides. Because sometimes there are people out there who are too focused to make their slide is so nice, so nice, so engaging, and they forgot that they need to make their slides understandable, engaging. I mean, the slides are understandable and easy to add on. That's why 80% preparation and 20% implementation. So now you're done creating the element of pitch deck. You're done crafting your pitch deck. So now we go to what we call 4 quadrants. For every program that you attend, for every people that you met, everyone has a different style. You need to prepare, like I think Lisa was saying just now, he has multiple decks for different audience. That's great. Because you cannot have, your ask cannot be the same for everyone. Your flow cannot be the same for everyone. Like I mentioned just now, I did 3 pitch in 5 days and everything is different. So why? Because I know for every people that I met, they have a different way of understanding of what's the outcome. The first one is what we call the result-oriented leader. People like Steve Jobs. People like Steve Jobs only focus on the outcome. I mean, if you look like all his movies, like all the autobiography that people talk about him, he only cared about the outcome. If you do this, what is the outcome that we get? All right. So this is the first one, the result-oriented leader. So if you're talking to people like Steve Jobs, is basically, he just want to know, okay, so you present all this, what's the outcome of all this? What do we get, right? And then the second person is the analytical mind, like Elon Musk. He's the type of guy who he wants to show me the plan and it better makes sense. So he want to know the step by step. How do you want to achieve this? And make sure how you achieve it is not something like you just plug something from outside and then you just want to make it work. Right? So he's the type of guy who want to know the process. Maybe that's why it's important to have in your deck, like the step by step, how does it work? So I have this example like this training program, training module. The first is what you want to do. Then number 2, number 3. So analytical mind is something who wants to see that. The third one is a fame seeker. Will it make us famous and exemplary? So it's something that if they accept you, if they invest in you, will it make them be popular because they're investing in a noble idea or great idea, something new, right? And the last one is the nurturer, speak to my heart. In everything that you do, is basically in everything you do, everything you met, they will have all these kind of 4 people. Example, if you watch like music competition like the Idol, American Idol, they have like Simon Cowell, they have Paula Abdul, and everyone have a different kind of character, right? So I would say, example, I had a chance to pitch to AirAsia, and then what I did was when I was talking to Mr. Tony Fernandez, I just told him about, hi, I have an idea to save losses for your company. Then that's the only thing he want to know. When he heard about that, he straight away said like, Reza, I love your idea. I'll connect you to my team. So I don't have to explain much. I know because when I go to him, I don't even need to tell him about the platform that I'm trying to do, right? And then the analytical mind will be like the manager guy. So when I talk to him, then when I tell him, okay, this is what we want to do. We have an app that connect your surplus to our user. Then like, okay, it makes sense. If we sell to you, then it makes sense. Then we go to the fame seeker. Then when I go to fame seeker, it's usually the marketing team. Then I'll go to him by saying something like, so if you partner with us, you're showing that you're supporting the environment. And then only we go to the last one, like, okay, besides that, we're also selling to the B40 communities. So that's how you change your angle on who you're talking to. But the problem is sometimes when you pitch, when you pitch, there's 4 judges, 5 judges there, you don't even know their character, right? So that's why it's important in your slides. You just have to see if you have touch base a bit of all the angle. Usually the problem, when you start about problem, then you will touch people like the nurturer. And you start with the problem. And then when you go to your solution or product, then it goes to the analytical mind. Then when you talk about your go-to-market or your market size, they might go to the result-oriented leader. And lastly, when you talk about your traction, you pay media, you've done this, you've done that, you already sell to how many thousands of product, that it will touch on the fame seeker. Because they will be like, okay, by partnering with them or by investing in them, it looks like we are really supporting ready to grow startup or businesses. Okay, so sometimes you don't know who you talk to. This is something that I would say you can't really control before you come to the pitch, but it's something that hopefully you are aware of this kind of quadrant for it to be better prepared, okay? But what you can control is who's your audience. So be flexible in your pitch. Imagine yourself as a chef, so you already have a menu. You already have a menu on the table for you. But then for each area or stakeholders, which menu are you pushing out? Right? So if you talk about like public presentation, it's more about I'm telling a story of how I came across this problem and how I come up with this solution. If you go to investors or you go to stakeholders, then you want to go to them about I'm telling a problem, that I'm solving here. I'm solving here with a business model. I think it can grow. But if you're in a competition or if you're in a grant, it's more like I'm telling you why I have the best solution. Because we want to prove to them that you are better than people out there. And lastly, if you're talking to clients, it's more on I'm telling you why I can make you more, I can make more money for you. Right? So just now, the quadrant is something that you can't control because you never know who's behind the table, who's behind the desk, who's judging you, or you don't know their character. But at least this 4 is something that you can. You know, whenever you go for something, you know exactly how to pitch. If you're pitching for grant, how do you need to prep yourself? If you're talking to investors, how you want to prep yourself? Public, so every angle you must have. That's why I really love what Niza mentioned. He have multiple slides. That's great. If you are really pitching to get grants, to get money, to get investment, all the stuff, you need to have 3, 5, even 10 slides. Like I remember during my time running my own startup, I have like 10 to 15 slides. Every different investors, every different competition, I name it as something else. Then every time I pitch them, I have to tweak based on what they want to listen, what they want to hear. So because especially during the ask, if you can relate to what exactly they do, then they'll feel that, okay, this startup do their research before come to us. Because sometimes, example, you want to pitch to Grab, all right? Then you read their business plan, read their annual book, right? And annual report book. Then by you sharing, because usually in a report they have their motto, they have their vision, mission. Sometimes even the employee doesn't know about it or doesn't remember about it. But if you pitch them and then you relate what you do with their vision or their motto, then they'll be like, oh yeah, it's true. It can relate to us. So this is something how you can expect when you present different angle, different environment. You have to do something differently. Okay. Right. So far so good. If anyone has question, feel free to just drop a question or feel free to unmute, and then we can elaborate more on the details. Okay. Cool. Okay, these are some of the tools that I use personally. Of course, there's so many tools out there. There's Prezi, there's Slido. There's so many tools out there. But why I'm sharing these 5 is something that I see people use in common. Like example, Canva. Canva has a template. In the case of you're not sure how to do your slides, you can just use Canva. You can just plug in, just put in your points, and then everything is there based on the template that you're interested. Why I suggest Google Slides? Because if you work in a team, you work in multiple team of 2, 4, 5, at least you can get everyone to just putting all the info there, and then it's easier for team communication. Keynote, I would say especially for Apple user, you guys love to use Keynote. PowerPoint is traditional way. PDF slides, I would say, is the best solution in the case of you want to avoid technical issue. If you are presenting, if you have to share your slides to organizer or to presenter, it's best to use PDF so that this can avoid if you have like a unique font. So there's no issue of they don't have the unique font on their laptop. It's easy in case of animation. Just use PDF. It's easier. I mean, just create multiple slides. So PDF is like what do you call it? Like a solution of trying to really reduce the risk of technical issue when you're presenting, because you, as far as you can, try to avoid technical issue when you pitch, because it will disrupt your momentum, it will disrupt your confidence. So always try to use PDF slide. And also in the case of you pitching to investor, by giving a PDF slides, they can't use your slides for something else. Usually we've seen, I mean, I'm not saying that don't trust anyone. I mean, so far, I never came across of people stealing ideas. Of course, there are people out there who do that. But if you give in PDF slides, they can't tweak your slides. They can only screenshot or copy, but at least you give in PDF slides. Okay. So now what is a common mistake that we notice a lot of people have done when pitching? Number one, too much information on a slide. They try to put as many as they can because they feel like everything is important. I need to highlight everything that is here. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing out anything. So if you put everything in one slide, people will lose out on attention. They will just be like, they're just gonna read as many things and then they just not gonna listen what you say, right? So try to avoid to put too much information and try to focus on the main point. Number two is bad choices or qualities of images. As you can see here, I put a watermark, like Shutterstock watermark. There are people out there who upload this kind of photo on their slides. This is a bad angle because then even the judges or investors will feel that you don't even willing to invest how many ringgit, then why should we invest in you? If you can't even pay 5 ringgit to get that slide, that photo, then it's a bad image lah. As I mentioned here, visual are processed 60,000 times faster than text. So it's important to maintain that image so they know that you're a hustler. Even, I think just recently, I saw someone, I don't know if you guys know, like if you download a file in PNG mode, there will be like boxes. But some people didn't know that it's PNG. They thought it's PNG, but it's JPEG. They just upload a photo on their slide with boxes on the background. So this is something that you have to avoid, like this kind of like small mistakes, minor mistakes that can be easily solved. The last one is all over the place. Lack of structure in the sense of your word is up, down, left, right, everywhere. Your colors is like, first page is red, second page is purple, third page is pink. So by talking about lack of structure, people won't even give an attention to you. They will be disjointed to really understand more. Like I mentioned just now about the pitch deck, right? The element of pitch deck, problem, solution, everything, right? When you say about the lack of structure, when there's no even a flow of storyline. When there's no flow of storyline, again, people got disjointed. That's why it's important to keep it tidy and keep it consistent and make sure there's a flow for your presentation. So how to really get ready for pitching? How I get ready, number one is I do my research. So look out for past winners. Talk to your coaches or talk to advisors and understand the objective for the program. So when I mentioned this, the one that I was presenting in 2016, one was Cradle Grant, which is focused on providing tech for early startups. Second was Teraju, Super Teraju, where they give out 500K for you to build a solution for the nation agenda, at least creating an impact. And then the third one was Alliance Bank SME Challenge. So that one is a competition. So if I go to all the three competition or program by giving the same deck to everyone, I'm pretty sure I won't win even one of it. Or maybe I just win 1 out of 3. Because every one has a different angle, has a different concept. How will I know? I read out all about their website. I read all about their previous portfolio. And also I even talk to past winners. I look out, who's the past winners are? What did they do? Like even if I know them, I talk to them. Okay, I noticed that you won this competition 2 years ago. How is it? How's the coaches? So do your research. If you're going for Traju, look who's the past winner. Example, if you're going to investors, right? So I would say, example, if any of you guys are doing a marketplace platform, so one of the investors that totally relevant for you guys is an investor called KK Fund. So why KK Fund? Because if you go to their website, you can notice 80% of their portfolio or startup that they invest is a marketplace. Marketplace for lorry, marketplace for education, marketplace for job, marketplace for this, marketplace for that. So when you do your research, number one, you won't look stupid when you're presenting, and you know when you present something that is not really in their space. Number two, when you pitch them, you know you already have a differentiator that they know that, okay, you're already in the same scene, and how are you different from what they do, right? So that's why it's important to do your research so that you have a better chance to get it. So if you're doing like product based, and you don't go looking for tech startup investor because they might only look for tech. If you are doing a tech, you won't go for product. If you're doing like a business restaurant, like brick and mortar. So if you're doing a brick and mortar, of course you can't go to tech startup because the goal, how the investor play their game is different. Right? So that's why do your research. The next one is focus on your strength. You might have multiple features out there, but focus on the one that suits best with the objective. In this point, I always believe in one thing, like how one of the motto that I always believe in is fall in love with your vision, but don't fall in love with your idea. If your idea can be, you might do multiple solutions, you might pivot as many times, it doesn't matter. Even if people go to you and say like, hey, why you keep on changing your idea? Why you keep on changing your product? It's fine, because what is your vision? I go back to my example. I want to reduce food waste. There's so many ways to reduce food waste. But right now, I'm focusing on one area. But if these things didn't work out, doesn't mean that I fail, but probably just meaning that maybe this idea doesn't work out. Now, I do another one. I do another one. Doesn't matter, because the goal for me, I'll try as many solutions as I can, as long as I can reduce food waste. Okay, so example like Fatima, you're talking about just now, you share about you want to create more makers. Creating more makers can be in multiple ways, right? So, but then you already have an idea now to create like a system, to create like a module. Then do that first, right? So don't be worried about if you have multiple features. Share the one that is is your strength now. You might say, yeah, my product want to do A, B, and C. But rather than you go to investors and say that my product can do A, B, and C, you should go like, my product will produce A. Then I'm doing this A, blah, blah, blah. But in future, we will also do B and C. So as an investor, or as a judge or as a borrower, they will see like, okay, they are quite clear. They want to do A first. At least they want to validate A. If they don't come, good, they already have plan B, they have plan C, they have plan D. Right? So focus on your strength rather than you just go out and say this is all that we have. That doesn't look good on you. And the last one is, I'll call it inspiration, confidence, and sharpness. So now, who do you admire? So watch others to get inspired. Like for me, I would say, example, when I watch former President US Obama, when he was speaking, I'm like, every day I practice to speak like him. Because I see he was so inspirational. I'm like, okay, I want to try to speak like him. But then I know it doesn't suit me, but at least it keeps me inspired. Okay, yeah, I might not be copy full method of how he present, but I try to see how he do it. He always do his pause. He do a bit of joke. So look for someone for you to get inspired. If you love how Steve Jobs do the pitching, go for it. If you love how Tony Robbins, like so energetic, like so loud, great, go for it. You should have your style. No one can tell you that, oh, if you pitch, you have to pitch slowly, or if you pitch, you cannot shout. Up to you. You have to be comfortable with how you are. Then only you are okay. You can, what do you call it, easily relay your message. So just now, when I mentioned about do your research, the reason why you want to do your research for you to gain confidence. When you know everything that you need to do, then you have nothing to lose. Actually, I like just now, as now we was talking about your physical appearance, right? And I do that as well. One of the way for me to build confidence is to wear something nice, for me to be confident with myself. The second step, I'll make sure that I know who's the past winners. I know what's the objective of the program. When I applied for Cradle a few years back, at that time, social enterprise was so new and a lot of people think social enterprise is a charity. In the case of people out there who doesn't know, who doesn't understand how does social enterprise work. So social enterprise is a business, is a profit-driven business, but who also focus on creating an impact. People, planet, and profit. So when I pitched to Credit at the time, because it was so new, when I presented, and then the feedback that I received was, Rizal, we can't give you the grant because we don't see that you can be sustainable. You're creating an impact, you have a business model, you do have revenue generating every month, but we don't see how it can go big and how it can create impact. And then because by that time, because before that I was working with an angel investment company, I helped 3 of the portfolio startup to receive grant from Cradle. And out of the 3 that I helped, 2 of them doesn't even have revenue at the time, but they got the grant. So how, because I done my research, when they gave me that pointer that say that they can't give me the grant because I can't be sustainable, the first thing I tell them is that it's unfair, because I know there's more tech startup that doesn't raise revenue like me now who received the grant. If you want to compare now, yes, my revenue might be 1,000, 3,000, 5,000, but I already have a revenue generating compared to all the startup that you gave. Then when they heard that, they can't deny. I mean, they can't say anything. The only thing they say was, and then I even say something like, just because I'm a social enterprise doesn't mean that you have to discriminate me, because I'm still a tech startup anyway. I didn't come here saying that I'm a social enterprise. I come here as a tech startup. You are the one who labeled me as a social enterprise. So by doing that, the next thing they did was, okay, they will get back to us. They said, we'll get back to you in one week. And Alhamdulillah, we got the grant. So that's how you build your confidence. You know your product, you know about the past winners. That's how you want to pitch to them. Okay. And the last one is, of course, P. Practice, practice, practice. You just have to keep on rehearsing to be sharp. Sometimes your practice doesn't mean that, example, if you have to do a 5-minute speech, doesn't mean that your practice has to be like every time it's 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. No. One of the ways to make yourself a bit calm, a bit relaxed, is to, maybe you can do like 2 or 3 times like the 5-minute speech. And then after that, stop, calculate the time, just talk to people like just sharing a story. Try to keep it a flow without even looking at your deck. Or just write a pointers on the note, like just sharing. So yeah, example, here is actually what I'm doing is I'm creating a solution for this, that. So by just like more like a sharing, it gives you more of relaxed manner. And then when the time you have to pitch, you're not really trying to remember exactly what is the points, what need to be said. It's more like it's already in the flow. It's like you're just talking to people about it. So that's the beauty of doing a pitch deck when you don't really rehearse the full script. It's more like you are passionate in sharing to people what you're trying to do. There's one other competition, I think Alliance Bank. You started from top 50, you have to pitch to become top 32. Then you have to pitch again to become top 20. After that, you pitch to become top 6. And all this happened in a month. And then when they choose top 6, all the 6 finalists are ready to pitch to the final judges. They went in with a clicker. Then when they went in, they tried to click next, nothing on the screen. Then they say, oh, judges, sorry, we're waiting for the screen to appear. Then the judges say that, sorry, final, there's no pitch deck. Pitch to us in 2 minutes of what you do. So if you have always been ready, always been depending on the slides, you will totally blank out. I mean, you might say, but it's not a flow. But if you have been just like sharing, pitching, then it's all just to be another sharing. So yeah, I'm here today to share about things like that. Okay. So this is one way. Rehearse doesn't mean you have to rehearse based on time, but try to rehearse based on just like a sharing of why you do what you do, right? If you are really like passionate, then it will just come true as it is. Okay, the last one for the part 2 is handling difficult questions. Always be prepared to answer with data and not semantics. Reframing the way to answer. Usually this also can be like a crucial part of your presentation, either to investor or program, because there are people out there who just ask questions to test you. There are people out there who ask questions to really and want to understand more. But there are also people who just ask questions to show their relevance. They know nothing, but they just want to show that they are better than you because they're sitting on the other end. Sorry to say, I've been that part of that number 3. I just started working in investment, and then unfortunately my boss can't attend, and he told me to go there. And of course, being an investor, people don't look at young investor. They'll be like, who's this kid? We don't know you, why you're here. So during the presentation, I don't know what to ask. I just asked, I can't remember what I asked, but I know it's a stupid question lah. Like not really a big important in giving marks or points. But then suddenly that guy's answer was way more like stupid than my questions. Like I can't remember, but because of that, all the judges agree like, hey, why is he saying this thing? This is not relevant. So that's why always be aware of what you want to answer. Basically, what do you need to prepare, right? Number 1, always prepare to answer with data, not emotional value, meaning that if you don't know what to answer, just be frank. Say something like, oh, that's a good point. I was not aware about it. Thank you for sharing. We will test it out and let you know if it works. Or you can also angle it something like, oh, we haven't tried before. We will try. And why don't you give me your email? And we'll get back to you once we have it. Straight away, you might have a second meeting, because if he asks and if he cares about it, he don't mind giving you the email, because he really want to know whether you can make it, you can work it out or not. Because if he asks something that you haven't done, then meaning that he want to know, and then he has to get the email, because you're like, okay, I want to see the results in a few weeks time. Okay, because if you attack with an answer that you just lie about it, maybe he's an expert, then you jeopardize your chance. Right, so but don't until like all the 3 or 5 questions, everything you say like, oh, sorry, I didn't, we'll get back to you, then it totally doesn't look nice, because it looks like you don't have any answer for your pitching. Okay, what else types of question they ask? Yeah, I mean, that's how I notice people do that, because there are people who be like, there are some people who, when they ask a question that they are not agree, they will just say like, they suddenly like quite emotional and say like, you don't know what I do, I'm better knowing at this. That one is a no-go. Especially the pool of investors in Malaysia is quite small, especially like the popular one is really, really small, and they talk to each other. I saw a time where this startup was pitching, and then halfway down the line, I mean during the Q&A, he's not happy with the question that being asked. He just left the room. And then the next thing we know, that judges in the competition was like texting or informing all the investors out there like, hey, this startup is quite rude, they didn't even stay halfway, everything. Then it just affect your reputation. So investors do talk to each other. Sometimes they do share the deck with each other, say like, hey, I think this startup might be relevant for you. So it's important to make sure that you keep your relationship with all the investors that you met. Okay. Right. So before I go to equity crowdfunding, is there any question regarding crafting your pitch deck? I mean, if there's none, what I'll do is I'll give like 10 minutes break, and then we'll continue. But right now, do you guys have any question relating to pitch deck? Okay, seems that there's none. What I'll do is we take a 30-minute break, and then we'll come back at 9. Okay. Right, I'll see you guys at 9. But in the meantime, I'll just be here. If anyone just want to have like a casual Q&A or want to chat, I'm here to talk. But whatever it is, we'll continue on the topic of ECF around 9 o'clock. All right, thank you.
Reza?
Yes, hello. Hi, Aviza.
Yeah. Do you have any tips to, like, when you pitch, right? Because you normally will have the stage fright, so definitely. So like, you know, when you see all the, especially the judges, they will look at you like with all the starry eyes and everything. Do you have any tips, like how do you like completely, I mean, just they are not in front of you or something, or you know?
Okay, so for me, I mean, first of all, nowadays there's hardly a physical pitching, right? So it's a bit easier
Yeah.
to. So that's a good pros. Another one is what you can do is don't look the same person for a long period. Just look like elsewhere. So that's the option. For me, I remember there's one time I just look like 1 or 2% of the crowd and I pitch. Another option is I'll just multiple change eye with different judges. So meaning that because I know if I look at one person and then example if I see his face like macam, are you sure? Then it might be pitching. So I'll just change. But another thing what you can do is when you pitch, try to not like memorize a script. Just memorize on the points, and your points should be on your slide. So meaning by looking at your slide, you know what need to say next. So it doesn't really affect. So meaning looking at in front and then looking at the deck a bit and then talk again, look at the deck a bit. So it depends on the program. I remember there's multiple programs that I attend that the light is so bright, I can't even see anyone in front of me. So that one is a bit easier because I don't even know who's watching me, right? For judges, usually if there's a judge, either I'm gonna look at multiple judges that just play around, like who one is a bit more okay, or and then once I found the judge is like quite interesting or responsive, then I'll just focus on him or her. Because meaning that they are showing an engagement that they care about what you do. Because there are judges who just gonna be like just playing with phone or just writing on the notes. So for me,
some they don't even bother to look at you.
Yeah, right. So the one that I shared just now, right? Some of them, the one that shared the startup that left halfway during the Q&A, because he was so pissed that he said one of the judges was just playing phone while he was speaking. So he just left. I mean, for me, he shouldn't do that. I mean, maybe because some of people might okay to be listened while playing with phone, right? So, but one way is you look for judges that a bit more engaging with you. Like usually it's like I would say usually most of the time it's the female judges because they really like this is a nurturer kind of person. They really care. Oh, okay, or this nice. They head shake. Then it's good. If you met this kind of judges, try to focus on this particular judge because at least you'll be a bit more positive to answer. Right, and lastly is before you pitch, just try like maybe usually like 3 minutes or 5 minutes before your turn, right? Because you know your turn is next. At that time, stop practice. Stop practice. Just relax, take a deep breath. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then just stop thinking about what to pitch. That one will give you confidence.
All right, I'll try that in the future competition maybe.
And maybe it's virtual as well. You can. So the last thing is finding your power pose. What pose give you comfortability, right? Example, even if I pitch virtually, right? If I pitch like this, so hi, I'm Reza from from company XYZ. I'm doing this. It's like I can see that I'm a bit nervous, but if I just give a nice posture, hi everyone, I'm Reza from company XYZ. I'm here today to tell you I have the best solution to reduce this pitching on virtual, something like that. Right. So if you have a power pose, it gives you confidence. Some power poses like this, some is like this. It doesn't matter. One thing I feel the beauty of this virtual is how you can be different from others. Doesn't mean it's virtual. You have to pitch while sitting. You can still pitch while standing. You can still like change your background. I noticed some even make a effort to create like what do you call it? Green backdrop studio. Like really standing up and then speaking. So it's finding the comfortable way. And again, the good for being virtual, you can read lah.
Oh yeah, because you can have something in front of you.
So
Okay.
the stage fright.
Yeah. Because you will be checking anyway, so.
So at least, I mean, you're still gonna be nervous, but I feel that going to virtual is less nervous than pitching in public, because like you mentioned, pitching in public, the judge will look at, most of the judges or investor, they look at you as a pitcher rather than look at the slides. But virtual, most of them will have to look at the slides. So that's a bit of advantage of that. So then you will go down how your voice flows. Is there a nervousness on your voice? Is it like a one tone kind of pitching? So now it basically plays on the voice, right? And even I noticed a lot of presenter now, because it's virtual, they tend to look. They focus on looking at the slides. Right, so you can see their eye, but just I know they are looking at the slide rather than look at the judges. It might be an advantage for you to look at the judges, because then you see how's the reaction. Even like I'm doing this program with you guys, the reason why sometimes like why next not happening, because I'm looking at all of you guys. Whoever that open your camera, I'm looking at you guys so that to see what's the reaction that I'm getting for you guys. Because of course, if I see everyone is like boring, then you notice that if my voice started to become boring, then I know I'm not getting a good thing. Then I have to, yeah. But if I see people like engaging, people are like not like nodding their head, then I know, okay, now I'm going to continue things like that. So same thing when you pitch. Even though now you're pitching virtual, doesn't mean that you have to look at your slides. You can even like while pitching on your slides, just open the judges' faces. And then while looking into that, it does give you confidence. It does give you.
Do they normally reveal who are the judges, and should we just make a little bit of research about who are the judges and everything, like their character, the background?
Depends on the program. Do you have any particular program that you want to share?
I think I've joined Superb 3 years ago.
Okay, like Superb,
so like
we don't really mention who's the judges.
Yeah, because they change, right? The room and everything. So
but number one, you kind of know what type of the type of judges. Like example, like talking to Superb is more like the corporate company, like traditional business kind of, mostly it's traditional business judges, Alisan, Ramly Burger, like big kind of thing. Only a small like few numbers of agency and few numbers of tech startup. But no social enterprise, the example. So you should already know based on the history, based on the previous, you should talk to past winners, then you know. Like example, the current one that is quite active right now, in the case none of you guys know about this, is called My Hackathon. My Hackathon. myhackathon.com.my. It's a 6-region competition. Every region give a different problem statement. They just finished the first 2, Johor and KL. There's another 4 upcoming. I mean, initially it was supposed to be physical, but now because it's already like CMCO, they make it into all virtual. So that one, again, they don't really mention the name of the judges, but at least there's already 2 competition happen. So you kind of already know who the judges there. Magic, Cradle, Ministry. So you kind of already like understand how their flow. You see lecturer. So that's why you see depending on the situation. Like certain program like Alliance Be Smart, they mention who's the judges. So that's why it will depend on the program, but most of them won't mention who, but they can, if they, example, you ask them, they say they don't know, right? They can't share, right? What you can do is just ask them, I know what is their industry or like category. You can even ask like category. So they will say like, okay, ministry, or they say like tech startup or corporates or investors. So you know, okay, then you know how you want to play around it.
All right, thank you.
Riza, I want to ask, just now, I think you mentioned several, right? Several organizations where we could get like, where we could pitch our idea, like My Hackathon, and then there's Cradle, Super Teraju, Alliance Bank, and also KK Fund. Is there any other are the ones that.
That's a lot, but again, I feel that the best is to know what you're doing. So I kind of have like a specific, different idea have different program that you guys can apply. I can share now, but the best is later at the end of the session, I'll give you my email and you can ask more. By example, if you're more into social enterprise, you can look for Yayasan Hasana program. But for like, if you're looking for like tech investors, right, there's so many for me to share. KK Fund, even I don't remember because I know before this I did a lot of like, I think there's Riapra, there's Monk Hill, Golden Gate Venture. So investor, there's so many. What you guys can do, you can also just explore like Cradle Fund, go to Cradle. Then I think Cradle also shares some investors, or you can just search for tech investor in Malaysia, like funded startups and all the stuff, right? But in terms of program, there's Traju. Competition, there's not much nowadays because of COVID. Traju, Cradle. You can look for MDEC. So MDEC is not really like a competition, but they sometimes have program for you to apply, like digitalization and things like that. There's so many more. So if you maybe later at the end, tomorrow or something, you can drop me an email or even Monday about like what the angle of areas that you're looking for. Then maybe something I can share. Even Selangor has it like SciTech, SITEC. They also give grants for some. See, there's so many. I apply for a few, but I know there's so many out there. I even have a list of program that you can apply. Especially if you, again, because I'm more specific. I started more into tech space, but now I'm a bit more into social innovation, social enterprise. If you go to Magic's website, mymagic.my, and then go to social innovation page, and then there's like an Excel spreadsheet of all the relevant programs that provide grants or investment.
Okay. I should go to Magic then.
Yeah, if you are a tech startup that looking for not just local, but you're looking for global programs, grants or investment, go to F6S. F for football, 6S for system. F6S.com. They have a list of all the programs, grants, investment, opportunity in the world.
Wow.
What is the end? What is the money that, or how much is they provided? Even how much percent, if they need percentage, how much percentage will they acquire, and what is the program deadline? Everything is inside there.
Okay. And then what I'm wondering is that, like everybody runs different kinds of business, right? At what point do we think that our business is ready to get grants or funds, or to go for a pitch session?
Okay, that's a good point, because no one wants to be a grantpreneur. It's not nice to be a grantpreneur, to be called that. My personal opinion on this: only ask for grants if you want to validate an idea.
Okay.
If you have a new idea to test it out, it's okay to go for grant. If you just started your business, it's okay to go for grant. I'm not saying it's a must. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying it's okay to go for grant. If you have people around you that can give you money for free, or you have money to start your business, use your money. Because for investor, they see you put your skin to the game.
Yeah.
And then they will give you money. They're like, like example, I just had a chat with an investor about one of the products that I'm running, a new product I'm doing. The first thing, after all the things that I done, she asked me how much am I asking for. Then I gave her the amount. Then she asked me back, how much have you put in? Then I've been putting this much. Then okay, makes sense, right? So that's why, and also basically, grant, as much as you feel it's a free money, it's not as easy as it seems.
Yeah, definitely.
You might get 300K, but you're not getting it straight away. You have to follow their process. Like example, Magic recently gave a grant for this push program. The program was last year. The second batch will have come in April or May. And then because change of government and all the thing, they only get their second tranche in December.
Okay.
And then like Superb, it was supposed to be 1.5. I received Superb grant 3 years since the first day I won. I won 2016. I got my last try in 2019.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's why grant is great to hear or easy money, but the process is tedious. But that's the thing, right? If you want a free money, you have to go through the process.
Yeah.
So
to be honest, I didn't even know that there's like this free money. I've always thought like businesses means you have to build everything from scratch and then generate the profit and then roll back into the business. So
I mean that's the beauty. If you do that, it's a beauty. That's the beauty of entrepreneurship. If you do that, it means you hustle on the way, great. But there are people out there who's opportunists. Why not? So that's why again, I never say it's right or wrong. Everyone has their own opinion. Some of them don't want to get grant. Some of them say that I don't want to get investment because I want to be like Steve Jobs. Just do on my own. Fine, everyone have their own way. But the best way to answer about grant is only for development. I agree with Niza. The best way to answer, I'm using grant to validate my idea because I don't have enough funds around me.
Understand. Yep.
So that's why.
Everything need fun, right? Even like for us, definitely you need a lot of fun to
Yeah, I mean, if there's an opportunity, why not, right? Okay, so I'm going to go to the next topic, but I have this question by Aaron. What's the percentage of capital that they expect us to invest our idea? Subjective questions. For me, I'm not coming in as like a proper percentage kind of thing. I'll tell you the best way to know what is the percentage is how confident you are in pitching. You can even tell people like my company is valued at 10 million. If this investor accept you, great. But if the investor is strict, then you might value yourself at 1,000. So there's no a perfect answer of how much is the capital. There is a formula out there. If you Google, there's one revenue multiplier. There's one like they calculate, okay, if you want to give your valuation, you have to time team is 10%, product is 15%, the problem is how many percent go to market. Then you calculate all this, you get a valuation, and then you calculate how much percentage you need. So regarding the capital, it's all up to you. But one thing for sure, an investor should not have a majority shareholder in your company. You must always have the majority shareholder. Even though if they invest 10 million in you and you only invest yourself 1,000, you still have the majority unless they buy your company. Because you are the one who running the business. They, as an investor, they are only advisor. They help you. They advise, help you to grow. Advise, help you to grow. But you are the one who runs. Even sometimes a good investor don't want to own majority of your business, because a good investor, they might own 5, 10, 15. Imagine if they own everything majority, how do they want to run their business, their own business? Okay, so ideally not majority. If you ask me, if I can give an answer, is between 5 to 20%. I don't believe in giving investor more than 20%. But if you're a bit more strict, even you give it 10%, just make sure you really have to pitch yourself why you were the amount. Okay, right. So now, one of the ways besides getting...
Hello, Reza. Mr. Reza?
Yes.
Mr. Reza?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. How can we predict what's the question from the panel?
How do
Is
we...
there any tips from you?
Okay, so there's no first of all, whenever you are pitching, right, you yourself have to expect what is the question that they're going to ask. If you can't expect, you talk to others first. You talk to your wife, your kids, your neighbors, your friends. You see what the question that they ask. Then if they already share all the question, then the next thing, how to predict. So usually what they will ask is typical question. Number one is, how do you want to go to market? How are you marketing your product? Number two is what's your projection? And then number three is what's your burn rate? So meaning that if we give you this amount of money, for example, for investment, right? If they give you 100,000, how long can you survive without getting any revenue? Because they don't want to give you 100,000 and you say that, okay, 100,000 can only give me without revenue, survive for 3 months. Then either they say you guys are not working well, or they say oh, then 100,000 not enough. We should give you 200,000 or even 400,000. Okay, so they want to know what's your burn rate. How do you utilize the funds? So The point is, usually if you make sure that all the element of pitch deck is in your pitch deck, you kind of reduce the question that they ask. Then they would just ask more about why you do what you do, why are you doing this, and also they might ask a question about your technology. So if you're Sulaiman, you're presenting to like people who never knew about what you're doing, then it's more like they will ask you like, okay, like if you present someone who's not involved in agriculture, so they might avoid question about agriculture. If you're presenting someone who knows about agriculture, they might ask you like, okay, this kind of crop can only last for how many years? So what if this crop is not available? What's next? Okay, so depends. If you have all the points there, they usually ask about your product. Okay, I mean, it's tough to predict the exact question, but if you have all the pointers in your deck, you kind of like reduce, and they will just ask more detail about your product. They even ask about you. So why you do this? Huh? So you're a farmer yourself and things like that. Okay.
If I can add, I think watching Shark Tank is a very good example of types of questions that they will ask, because those are a panel of like investors as well, and they can be quite brutal. So you all can expect take some ideas from the kind of questions that they ask over there.
Yeah, that's totally true. I mean, now more and more programs that talking about like there's Shark Tank, there's a TV series called Silicon Valley, and then I mean, sorry to publicly tell you guys this. I even watched a Korean drama about startup, but all this is just it's all about like what's the question that expect to us. So you might think like, oh, why are we watching this? And in fact, why don't you guys just watch YouTube, like startup pitching all stuff, right? It's good. I take that when I watch all that, I see what the question that they ask. Because even for me, even though I'm no longer like pitch as much as before, but it's good to know so that I can really train myself and also share to you guys what are the questions that we might expecting. Okay, but usually they will, most of the time, if it's about a program, they'll ask you how do you utilize the funds and how fast can you roll on this product to the market. Okay, and right now, if you're talking about like the best way, like if you say like I don't know what program, just go to Cradle Fund Facebook, look for the My Hackathon I shared just now. Everything is live, and every venue has a 20 startup speech, and just watch while you're doing work. Just listen to the background of that competition, and you just listen whatever question that they ask. And most of the question that I heard from the program is, how do you deploy? How fast can you deploy? And what do you want to use the money for? So these are the 3 typical questions for that particular program, because that program is about giving grant for you to deploy a system that is related to the government ministry. Okay, thanks for sharing about this Korean drama. Yes, it's every Saturday, Sunday. Okay, so now back to options, right? So we talked just now about usually people take grant for development. Okay, now what if you can't get grant, right? So next option, this is where equity crowdfunding comes in. The good thing about, so what is equity crowdfunding? It's basically a process whereby it's a chance for public to invest. So when you start a business, I know you guys heard about this term they call the 3F, friends, family, and fools. So this is where we say if you guys want to start something, try to do the 3F first, then only look for investors and things like that. Another option nowadays, which is starting to build up the popularity here in Malaysia, is equity crowdfunding. Now, every week there's going to be a new campaign up in the platform. What is this? It's basically a chance for public to invest. Public that you don't know at all out there, who if they're interested, they can just invest in you like 1,000 ringgit or 5,000 ringgit, and then they get a really, really small share in your company. So what to expect when you want to do ECF? Prepare to go public, meaning that you can't hide about anything. So it's not as public as a public listed company, but public as in terms of how you want to make money. Who's your team? How's your financial record? If you already started, if already 1 year, 2 years, they want to see your audit report. They want to know, is this a legit startup for a business for them to invest or not? Number 2 is, prepare to show numbers on the platform. So this is no longer example, right? Before maybe you can say like, my company is generating 50% growth every month. But if you go for ECF, you have to tell people what is your 50%. If your 50% is from like 1,000 to 1,005, then you have to show it. Okay. Next is, but the good thing is, it's also a chance to market your product to larger audience. Some people go ECF because it's more for a marketing reason. For example, if you start a business, you want to do marketing, you have to go like spend Facebook ads, Google ads, post everything. It's quite a long process. But if you're going ECF, by promoting about your ECF, it's already a chance to market your product to larger audience. So again, yeah, as I mentioned just now, so this is the time where instead of just getting them to transfer money in your bank account, you can get them to be involved. You have to prepare them in advance. You have to be creative. You always have to do video. Image is better than normal wording presentation. Video is way better than pitch deck. Because of the video, it makes their product sounds. Can you guys hear me? Hello. Test. Can you guys hear me now?
Can hear, but it's soft.
Oh, really? Yeah? Okay, let me just bring it near to me. I know I didn't change. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, so now is next is video. So I've seen people who because of video, it makes their product is way easier to understand. Because if you are creative in doing video now, you can easily, by doing a video, it's easily what we call it, promote around, just share by WhatsApp and all stuff. And next one is that also remember, if you raise through ECF, they also take certain percentage. If I'm not wrong, it's in the range of 7% to 10%. Meaning that, example, if you raise 100,000, they might take around 7,000 ringgit. So you're not getting full, but at least you're getting, you're still getting 93 lah. So ECF usually people do around 30 days, 60 days, and you are the one who set yourself. It's not that the ECF operator that say that you have to do how many days, this is how much you need to raise. It's all you who decide. So these are lists of ECF in Malaysia. For me to choose one is tough because everyone has their own different strength. I don't have any like shares or anything in any of them, but I know like Pitch platform, Sdn Bhd is called Pitch In. There right now is one of the most active ones. I think almost every week they have new campaign. And then I think if you follow Pitch In, they always have this like a briefing session. Like example, sorry, I'm just checking from this. So they have like Thursday night, they always have people who want to like raise funding. They will have a session where you can listen to what are they offering. So meaning by you joining this kind of session by Pitch In, you can learn from them. You can say like, okay, this is how they present. Then you can also learn from that. Atta Plus also quite active in sharing a session. Everyone is quite active in a different way. So look out for the startup that are raising through their platform, and then you'll see the importance of choosing this platform. You still need to know what type of demographic are you looking for. Because again, everyone, most of them, their strength is who's their demographic, who's their followers, and they are the one going to invest in you. I mean, they're the one, at least you know, or this is the demographic that you feel is right for your product, then you go for that. Okay, so there's none I can say like, this is the best, this is second best. No, every ECF has their own style. And also you also need to check which ECF that really help you to raise funds. Some of them will just be like, okay, you put your business there and that's it. They might only do one newsletter. But some of them will be like, okay, we're going to promote you on social media or to our pool of users, pool of investors. So it depends on how they are marketing it. So you choose based on that. So how to get ready for ECF? I always believe that number one, build a crowd. ECF doesn't start the day that you start your campaign on the platform. ECF starts way before you put your product on the platform. Example, I want to raise an ECF of example 250,000. I'm not going to start my promoting to people on like 1st January or 1st December. Say like, okay, I want to raise ECF. I want to start 1st December. I want to raise 250. No. If I want to raise ECF, I'll say that I'm going to start on 1st January. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start promoting since 1st December. So whatever from today until 1st December is the time that I start doing my collaterals, doing my story building and all stuff. So I start going around. I start talking to people like, hey, I'm doing a fundraising. It's going to start on the 1st of December. Are you in or are you out? So for people who are in, get their verbal agreement first. Say, okay, cool. Then you put a note. Okay, Zul said, okay, 5,000. Fatima said, okay, 10,000. Aaron said, okay, 8,000. I put a note, everything. So I don't ask them to invest right away. I'll just put a note first, right? So that once the campaign starts, you already know that at least you already have like some of them already like locked in. So ideally, the best is to get around 30% to 50% already funded before you go for crowdfunding. So if you raise 100,000, make sure around 30,000 or 50,000, there's already people who say that they're going to pump in, because at least it shorten your process to get the full amount. All this, most of the successful campaign of crowdfunding, they already have a pre-investor or pre-funders. So why do you need early funders? Number one, so that when you start your campaign, they can be like, instead of example, you already have 10 people who verbally agreed to fund you. You don't get all the 10 to straight away fund since day one. So when you start the campaign, you get maybe 1 or 2 to put their money first. And then for the public that you didn't know, they will see like, okay, this business already has few people to fund. I'm going to pump in as well. And then you let the graph go up. And then once it's stagnant, now you get your second batch to pump in. Okay, just now you agree another like 8,000, right? Can you masuk now? Then when it's stagnant, because you push your friends to agree or your investor agree, then go up again. Then we go stagnant again. Now you put another batch coming. So when the public see that your graph, your money is always increase, then that build the reputation that your product is worth. Okay, so that's why it's important to stage your funders, because especially, I mean, common sense, most of Malaysian doesn't want to be the first. They want to see the success of others first, then only they come in. Okay, so that's what you can plan when you do your crowdfunding campaign. So get 30% to 50% ready first. Even if you have investors, maybe investor want to pump you like 80,000, it's okay. Tell him to wait first, and then only once like things are a bit slow, only get them to pump in. Okay. Number 2, marketing plan. So just now was planning in terms of the staging of funders, like getting a list of funders, friends, family, go to all events. Whenever you go, just now like build a crowd, right? Go to all events, go to whatever events that you go, talk to people saying that you're going to fundraise, right? Then the next one is marketing plan. So your story building, meaning that when you start, the first thing when you post is a simple, like maybe a simple video or a simple announcement about what you do. And then make sure if you're running a campaign for 4 weeks or for 8 weeks, make sure every week you have a content. Every week, you already plan. This first week, I'm going to talk about this. Second week, I'm going to talk about why I do what I do. Third week, I'm going to talk about like basically the idea of my marketing plan. My fourth week, talk about projection. In the meantime, along the line, I'm also going to update them. Like, okay, guys, after 2 weeks, we just already raised 40%. Looking for more, don't miss out, or something like that, right? So, and then what's your social media plan? What's your newsletter campaign? So marketing plan is really, really, really important. One of the ways you say that, okay, how about if you are looking for people who doesn't have access for online? They want to invest, but they don't know how to use the platform. Easiest way is to just get someone to compile everyone's money and then get a representative to pump in money. Also can. There's so many options, right? So your marketing plan is really important, and how push the story. Every time there's a growth, share it out, because people now just want to see. They are afraid to invest because they don't know whether this will work or not. Okay, so keep on, like, marketing plan is really important to really stage your step by step. And then the last one is, of course, your business plan. You have a clear outline opportunity, you have a reasonable target and timeline, and then that's make it easy for people to really say, okay, this is a good company to invest. So these are the three main elements if you want to crowdfund. But of course, usually these three, the crowdfunding platform will also share. So they'll share to you, okay, this based on success story. And so the last one is you again do your research. Look out for someone who's already done equity investment. Talk to them and ask them, because I never done my own equity crowdfunding for my own business, but I always believe if you look at the concept of, if you can get just 1,000 ringgit from 100 people, you can get 100,000 example. And of course, some of them will be give more, some will give low, but at the end of the day, it's all about your marketing. So this is one of the way. Two things that is good for this is that is for you to validate. If people invest in you, then your product is people in public believe in you, understand your product is workable, that's why they believe in you. So it's 2 in 1. In fact, people who invest in you can also be your early users. Once they invest, the product is up, you can just get them to test it out. So you get a quick win on the users as well. Okay. And second is, of course, the faster you get money is a faster way to get funded as well. Because usually once you reach your target, it only take like 3 days to 7 days, depending on the platform, for you to get the amount of money that you raise. It's not as easy as it seems. Some people did struggle to raise funds, but if you did well, you can get success. But make sure you do your research, do your plan, because I know there's a startup who raised like 3 million in 3 days. I think all of that is already pre-planned. So just make sure you do your research before you do your ECF. Okay, any question on ECF so far? All right. So next, before I go, just thanks. Niza did share a link on if you want to do company valuation. That's one option as well. Feel free to explore. Okay. Next is.
Reza, hang on. Yes. Just a question on ECF just now.
Yeah.
Is there any regulation on ECF? How do we go about? Is there any like laws and rules that we have to follow before we open up for ECF?
Yeah, so basically all this this list of ECF is already regulated by Security Commission. So all of them is already regulated by Security Commission. And then when you approach them, they will tell you like step by step how to do it. But basically, if you're a company, as long as you're a registered company in Malaysia, you can already apply. But of course, different platform, they have their own like set of rules. Have you like bankrupt before or things like that? They want to see your personal info, everything, your traction, your audit. Some of them might only help ECF if you're already more than 1 year. Some of them are fine. So it all depends on, to know about deeper like strict regulation, it all depends on the platform. But all this platform here is already regulated by ECF, Security Commission. Right.
So basically for ECF, you have to pay your investors back, right? Or is it in exchange of percentage of share, and then you have to give dividends to them, or how does it work?
Yes, correct. So ECF is usually in return of dividend, because you have to give up shares. So shares meaning you are the one who set amount of shares that you open. So example, you're saying that I'm looking for 100,000 for 10%, and then all of them, example, if there's 1,000 people who invest in you, and then maybe 10% divided by 1,000. So, and then it depends on return, is usually dividend. Again, it is set by you. You're the one who set what is the return for them, what is the valuation of your company, what the equity you're giving out, is all on you. But of course, once you apply for this, the ECF regulator will assist you, because once the project is success, then all of them will have like a certificate of shares in your company. That one, the ECF will help you. So they are the one going to help you on the requirement, on the regulation, the registration, everything, they will help you. So again, that's the beauty of ECF, because it's not you. Because if you has done it, you have to find your own legal everything. But because it's ECF, they are the one who are going to help you on this. So this ECF equity crowdfunding, they won't have the total control company. Do they have a board seat in your company? No, but they have a share, meaning they if you make profit, I think they need to get that dividend lah.
How about the fund? I mean, not ECF, but then the funds, grants and everything. Does the people, like, for example, if you win the Alliance Bank or Cradle, right? Are any of those funds that need to be returned or
Okay.
Yeah.
Understand. So that's because I didn't know if you guys cover in the previous module or not. So there's different category of funds, right? If you talk about, first we talk about grants. So grants, most of the time, is free money. Some of the grant provider will be quite strict, meaning that, so when you win a grant, you have to submit your project milestone. This is most of the competition. Some organization just give grant, that's it. They just don't want to layan you. Yeah, I give money, I did my part, go out. But most of the grant provider, they give you a grant, now they say, okay, you want 100,000, now we give you a template, fill up this template, tell us how you want to spend the money. And we're going to divide into 2 tranches or 3 tranches. You can only get the next tranche if you submit your first milestone. The milestone is something that you are the one who set the milestone, and they are the one who agree. If they say it's too low, you have to negotiate with them. Right? So example, like when I won Alliance Be Smart, I had to do 7 submissions. Only finally they agree. I do for Cradle, it's only 1. So it depends on like the agreement. So if you finish all, done. So like I think like Superb or like some of the grant, if you fail, you didn't submit, or suddenly you bankrupt, or suddenly you don't want to do it anymore, some of them will require you to pay back. Right? But if most of them, they will just be like, hey, it's okay. Usually, I would say a cheat code, usually if it's the last tranches of a grant, they usually tutup sebelah mata lah. So the first few tranches, they will monitor you. The last batch of grant, they will like close one eye, and then they still monitor, but not as strict as the first 2. Okay, now we go from that. For winning prize, usually for winning prize is confirmed no payback lah. Again, there will be milestone, what do you want to spend, everything. But usually winning prize, totally no payback. The only thing is they might don't let you get the second tranche or the third tranche, things like that. Okay, now we go for investor, right? Investor funds is almost similar like ECF. If you get investment, you're giving your shares away, equity funds, right? Equity investment, you have to give your shares away. What they give back is usually dividend. In the case where your company is a tech-based and you're not getting profit in the next 5 years, some of the equity investor, what they look for is a buyback. I mean, it's a selling of the shares. Either a buyback from the startup, or it's getting someone else to buy the company out, or even as simple as someone else to buy the investor out. Like for my startup, the option was for me to buy back from them. So at least buy back in a better rate lah. For example, if they invest in 100K, if like in 2 years time, the value of company is increased, they might get back, I might have to buy back at 150K. So things like that. So another option is they call it convertible loan. Convertible loan is where they give you money. Like example, they give you like 200K. If you reach this target milestone, they might convert into an equity, like 10% convertible loan of 200K. So if you reach a certain milestone that they set, after you reach that milestone, they're just going to convert that 200K, becoming a 10% equity in your company. But in the case they don't want to convert into equity, you have to pay a 10% interest for like whatever you loan from them. So that's why convertible, if based on, going to a bit of Islamic Sharia compliance, usually for like Islamic startup, we try to avoid convertible loan because there's an interest there. Okay, and then that's ECF, and then P2P is the same as basically like convertible loan. Okay, So there's variety of funds out there. You just have to know which one that you're working on, and then usually the one that pay back is a convertible loan. And equity is more like you invest, because when you invest, it's more like they are taking a risk. If you go big, they got their money back. If you fail, I mean, it's a risk for them. What I know from an investor point of view, they usually have like put a list, like maybe they have like 10, example, they have a 10 million funding in their company. They will say like, out of this 10 million, we're going to look at 3 startups that are going to give us a 30x return. Then there will be like 4 startups that we feel like we're going to invest, and whatever happens. Then there will be 3 startups that will be like, we're going to be high risk with this startup. If it's failed, it's fine, because we had the top 3 to cover all the losses that we cover in the 7 below. So usually that's the normal framework of how investors work. Okay. All right. So the last one is basically something that is quite new. Even, I mean, I can only say, you guys, even I'm not really like fully hands-on on this. It's called P2P, which is a peer-to-peer lending. It's still a crowdfunding type that allows individual and institutional investors to provide debt financing. So this is more into like loan instead of equity investment. So what can you expect from this, right? Number one is you're getting loans without going to the bank. So instead of working with the bank, you're working with multiple. So it's like basically it's a multiple investor working with intermediary, and then there's you. So rather than you go to the bank, you can go through them. It means you can get a faster transaction of money. Next is besides that, because most of them are investors, like experienced investors, you can get advice. Rather like ECF, when you raise ECF, it's just like anyone who wants to give money extra just to want to explore. You might know who's good and who's not, but like usually P2P is an experienced investor, so you can get advice. Again, like I mentioned earlier, it's a fast process to getting money in. Credit requirement might not be as strict as bank, because now they're looking more like, are you risk taker? And then it's a flexible use of funds. Like I mentioned, like just now, of course, with ECF, they want to know how you spend the money, because now it's public fund, right? And then you go for grants, again, they have a limitation of how you need to spend the money. You have an investor. If you have an investor that really believe in you, they won't be strict in terms of how you spend. But most investors, they want to know. Like, their investor will say like, okay, my investment is only for marketing. They'll be like, my investment cannot be for your salary at all. And the also investor will be like, okay, I understand you're getting grant, you're getting your product. Okay, fine, I'm giving money only for your manpower salary. So it's a bit like have to follow rule, but with P2P, it's a bit flexible. And these are lists of P2P in Malaysia. Like I mentioned earlier, it's still new for me. I know only 1 or 2 here, but it's worth to explore. Okay. And then, someone is here. Okay. And yeah, all right. So now is Q&A time. I will go through a few questions that being asked earlier. There's one question actually asking about how to make ourselves the right business to earn grant, investment, or funds. So to answer this bukan Along yeah, I mean it's I don't want to say it's a registered Along, tapi it's a nicer way to say. But yeah, because you give you lunch and then at least you know like they really want to help lah. But I mean, because if you ask me like Along, what they only care about return, but most of the ECF, P2P investors, I do believe like they believe that you can really grow the business. That's why they give money. But Along memang tahu lah, you buat ke tak buat, they just want their money back. Okay, so regarding to make your right business to earn grant, investment, or funds, I'll go back to the point of you have to do research. Like I mentioned earlier, if you are a social enterprise, you should know what's your playing field. If you are brick and mortar, you should know what's your labor playing field. Because if you don't know where's your playing field or where's your industry, you apply. That's why then it's a bit tough for you to get the grant or funding. Like example, I know people who have pitched like in a year, he pitched like 5, 10, 15 times, and they don't get the investment. And they don't get the investment or grants or something like that. Like I myself, I mean, I did 6 pitching, and I won all the 6 pitching, whether grant, investment, or competition. Why? Because I basically do research on the level playing field. Like why I joined the Superb Traju, because at that time when I joined Superb Traju, my business was more about how I can create the B40 communities to receive cheaper food option. When I joined Cradle, I anchored as how this is a new concept in Malaysia, how it could work. When I joined the Alliance Be Smart, I go in as a social enterprise. So understanding what's your strength at what area, and then it will make you fit. So it's not saying that you are lying your way to get things. No, it's more like do research on where's your strength, how you want to differentiate with others. And sometimes it's not a competition between others, it's just between you. You just need to find what's good for you. What about Kickstarter and GoFundMe as options for funding? See, for Kickstarter and GoFundMe, it's not, correct me if I'm wrong, it's not equity crowdfunding, it's a reward crowdfunding. So when it's reward, meaning that usually this kind of crowdfunding is relevant if you have a product. So when you do this, right, example, you want to launch a water bottle that is open itself. Whenever you just do this, it open itself, right? So it's a new product, it's something cool. So by doing this Kickstarter or GoFundMe, what you do is you say that you need 100,000 to build this product. In return, you can say like, if you donate 5 ringgit, you get a thank you card. If you donate 10 ringgit, you get this. If you donate 20 ringgit, you get the bottle yourself. So that's a reward crowdfunding, meaning that you offer them like a keychain or reward, whatever that they spend. Then, so you're not giving your equity, but you have to deliver when the money is complete. So meaning if you finally get 200,000, you're not giving your equity to them, but you have to give the product that you promised to them based on the reward that you set. So it's not equity, it's more like a product testing. So if you, that's why I feel it's relevant for a product. Usually if you go for Kickstarter or GoFundMe, you notice that most of their campaign is about a new innovative product in the market. So, and then it's more like you can validate. I've seen startup who what they do is they go to Kickstarter or GoFundMe to raise raise capital to build their product first. Then once they have a validation to say like they successfully raised the campaign, then they go for investor. They will go to investors saying that we did a campaign in Kickstarter, we raised 100,000, we build, because the good thing is we build 5,000 products, we already have 5,000 customers. Now we need the money from you to build a machinery or to scale up our product beyond the country, things like that. So Kickstarter and GoFundMe is more like reward, and what I shared just now is more of equity crowdfunding. Right? So next question is on how you want to make a meaningful business, the idea and thought process of it. For me, I personally feel that all business is meaningful. Everyone has, what you guys do right now is to solve an issue that is bothering yourself, or either you're opportunist in trying to find problem that is around you and how you want to solve it. But then it goes back to yourself after that. Is that, are you doing it for the money, or are you doing it to help people? There's no right or wrong in this. If you're doing it for the money, it's fine. Whenever people come to me and they ask me like, hey Reza, I want to start something, I want to be an entrepreneur, I actually ask them, are you doing it for the money, or are you doing for because of sentimental issue, like you really want to help? If you're doing for the money, go find a product that have a quick money, like selling second-hand products or selling a product from overseas coming to Malaysia, is fine. But if you really care about something, then whenever you pitch to people, you can start with a story, or make sure your flow of story is all about saying that why you're passionate in doing this. Like I've seen in the My Hackathon program, most of the winners, they won because they go through it. One of the guy, he's creating a solution for OKU, because his kid is one of the acute recipient, and he feels that it's a troublesome for him to go through 7 years of trying to grow his kid. That's why he's trying to get solutions so that no one has to face something like it. So the only differentiate of how you want to make your business meaningful is your story. Because for me, like even though I'm a social enterprise, I never go out and really start my pitch by saying I'm a social enterprise. Because at the end of the day, a business is a business. You still have to make money. You still have to be sustainable. It's the story of you share that get people to differentiate you. If you share your story about this is how I make money, I can get millions, I get millions 3 years, it's fine. There are investors out there looking for that. There are investors out there who say like, wow, this guy can make millions, I want to be part of him, I want to get millions returns as well. But if you go there telling a story about, I'm a footballer, I'm here, why I'm here today because I get enough support from around me and I want to give back. And how I want to give back, I'm creating a module to teach students, to teach youth to be like me right now. So by hearing the story, then there are investors like that who feel like, wow, this guy really want to give back. So the only way for me to really to understand whether how to create a meaningful thought of your business, meaningful business goes back to yourself. How you create the path for your storyline. How do you create a path for a business? So it all goes back to you. And again, there's no right or wrong. For me, it's unfair to say like, oh, this guy only care about profit. Everyone has their own reason in starting a business. And at the end of the day, whatever you do, even though you're a social enterprise, you want to create good things or not, you still have to be sustainable. If you're not sustainable, then you're not even helping anyone, right? Because if you're helping a community for 6 months and then your business is not sustainable, you have to close down, you create more sin because you're giving a false hope to the community for 6 months. So that's why it's still important to be sustainable in whatever you do. It's your story, it's your storyline, it's your journey, how you want to make it a path. That's how separate you between a meaningful business and really a profit-driven business. Right? Any other questions?
Reza, I have a question.
Yeah.
When we are preparing for a pitch and then we do research, suddenly we find out that there's already a previous winner, a company doing a similar but not the same program like us. Yeah. We know that we have a differentiator, but then it's quite similar. So how can we avoid when we pitch being labeled a Me Too program by the investor? Do we have to mention it that we are not the same as the previous company A, or not? Shall we not put the company A into a competitor's perspective?
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, you have to mention. You have to mention that there's already out there. You have to mention the elephant in the room. Okay. You have to mention that there's already someone out there. You can even mention that we noticed that last year's winners is doing this. And then the next point is on you. What is the differentiator? What makes you totally different from them? What is your advantage compared to them? In the case of example, if you're talking to investor, if the investor already invests something similar like you, then no, don't even pitch to the investor. Because if you're talking about investor, if they already invest something similar, they totally won't invest in you. But if you go into competition, there's two options there which you don't know. One is that if you know this idea won last year, then you kind of know that, oh, this is the appetite of the judges. That you kind of know, okay, this kind of appetite, it will make me go final. But another angle that you might know, they say like, last year the same style of winner, maybe this year won't be the same. But there's no harm for you to get top 2 or top 3. You might not be number 1, but you might still get number 2, number 3. So by knowing that, it could be an advantage, it could be disadvantage. Another example, when I run my startup, is because I'm on environment. All the global program that I attended, I'm the only one who do environment. So at that time when I noticed, I have 2 ways to say this. Either I'm surely gonna get it because I'm the only one who the environment, or I'm like, maybe I'm not gonna get it because everyone is doing community, who cares about environment? But it seems that I always join all the programs because they need a representative. They need to say that my program is so diverse. I have environment angle in one of my finalists, right? So if I'm you, except for talking to investors, I will avoid. But other than that, I'll go in. I'm just gonna share about the past winners, and I'm gonna share what is what is my USP, unique selling point. Because if they are the same judges as last year, right? The good thing about this is that you don't need to spend more time to talk about the problem, because they already know the problem. So when they already know the problem, you can spend more talking about your solution and what is your unique selling point. So that's the advantage for you. You save like 1 minute rather than talking about problem. You can talk about unique selling point because you know it's the same judges, same program. They already gave the winner last year that do what you do. Just less about problem, more about the solution, more about your features. What is the differential? Okay. Right. Okay. Any other questions? Anyone have? Okay, yeah.
I'm just wondering, right? So actually, if you know, because since you've watched a lot of videos or like real competition, people pitching for their ideas, right? A lot of these winners, do they win because of the idea itself or the success of their business idea, or is it more related to how eloquent you are as a speaker?
Okay. So sometimes there are judges that have a point for pitcher. So it depends, but again, it goes back to the what do you call it? If you're talking about investors, it goes back to what they're looking for, because they know if they feel if talking about investors, usually they look at a person. I mean, they do care about your business model, market size, but I mentioned just now the most important thing in your deck is the team, is you. So if you're talking about investor, the first criteria they always look at you. Can you pitch? Are you coachable? Do you know the data you're talking about? How confident you are? But if you're talking about competition, yeah, there'll be marks like 10 points for for yourself. How did the presenter? How did he present? Clear or not? And then there will be point on like your products. Because if you're talking about competition, example, there's a competition on food industry, then of course they want to look the best solution for food industry. If you're talking about education, of course they will look for education. But if talking for like generic, like Alliance Be Smart is a SME competition. So I didn't win the main prize because when you talk about SME competition, they want to look which are the one that is sustainable and a high revenue income. And surprisingly, the one who won during my edition was a company that sells rice. Right. So that's why it depends on the competition again. Some of them do care about the picture, but some of them really want to see how is your business is sustainable, how you make money. So like I remember everyone was surprised because at that time during the Alliance Be Smart competition, you see a lot of programs, people talk about tech startup business. It was on the rise. So we thought that, I remember there's even like there's a tech startup who already raised like 1 or 2 million USD that joined the competition. We would think, oh, they might be one of the front runners. But end up, out of the top 6, 4 businesses is a brick and mortar. Selling rice, selling flowers, is a food chain, fast food chain dekat Sabah. So you never know. So that's why it depends on the competition. Like if you are at Shark Tank, I think looking at the Shark Tank, most of them are looking at who can give them a better return. So you're looking at different topic, and then you understand what's the difference lah. Like if you're looking at like the Silicon Valley startup TV series, they look more like a tech startup who can really create a new innovative tech solution. right? So again, it goes back to understand what is the objective of the program. If I can share, I know maybe some of you guys are not applicable to apply for Traju. Superb Traju look out for what are the products that can help more people in Malaysia. Like how can you reach bigger impact? Okay, so it depends on the objective of the program. Yeah, no problem. Any more questions? Sorry, I didn't. Feel free to ask more questions. In the meantime, I'll just put my email here. My LinkedIn or social media is all the same. So in the meantime, if you have a question, I'm still here. Like another 7 minutes, or if you have more questions, I don't mind extend until 10:15 as well. If Colin is okay with it.
So the other thing is that these pitching sessions and whatnot, a lot of these programs, do they have like age limits, for example? Like you must be youth below 30 or
I mean, depends. Most of them is no. But usually lah, if a public competition, the range is quite high. They will just say like from 17 till 50 or till 40. Unless it mentioned that it's a youth grant, then you know lah. Then youth grant pun depends. Even like I remember there's one time youth is below 40. So everyone is youth. So it depends on the program requirement. But most of the time, I think it's below 60. So it's fine. Yeah, and then I think what you guys need to look at is also look at the Penjana Initiative Program. I think under Penjana there's multiple grants or program out there you guys want to look for. And in terms of investment, right? If you guys are looking for investment, I think what you guys can do is to always subscribe to newsletter by Cradle or MDAC. I think this is the a nice hub where sometimes they share about investors are looking for funding, or Cradle share, even Magic sometimes share about it. I remember in around April to June, MDAC organized a program called Meet the Investor, like matchmaking. What they do is they provide a website, and then you submit your interest, and then you can just choose all the investors that they have on their platform, choose. Then after that, they will try to connect, and like you prepare your pitch deck, and then they send to the investor, and then investor want to connect with you, they send another email. So where to find, I think you can try to explore MDAC, Cradle, and Magic. This is the three source of agency that I feel there's a potential that they share about investment. MDEC, sorry. Yeah, MDEC, Magic, and Cradle. Oh, sorry, I accidentally replied to 1%. MDAC, Magic, Cradle. Okay, so this three agency is a potential agency. I mean, it depends on the program, because I know MDAC did it during the pandemic season at the time. I think around May till June or August. We had that session, and then I think recently either Cradle or Magic did it recently. So what they do is they try to connect. I think, and for me, I personally feel if you really need investment, there's no harm to just email them and asking them like, hi, I'm looking for investment. Is there any startup that I can look at? Another one is actually MAFCAP. Right, so these are potential like a hub agency that can try to connect you to relevant. Another angle, if you are looking for investor, is to also join competition, because joining competition now with the virtual, everything goes public, you never know. Because people now, investors just sitting in front of a laptop, just trying to look for startup to invest. So if your idea or your product fits the bill, that is a good option. One thing about all the sharing that I share here, sadly, is mostly for tech startup. I know some of you guys is like a brick and mortar, a product base. So you guys might need to explore more. Even like agriculture, I think agriculture could be a potential to find there as well. For social enterprise, it's a bit tough. Impact investment is not really quite popular in the scene yet. But yeah, I mean, just look out for these 4 government agency here, and you might explore a few more investors out there. I mean, another way, just Google tech investors in Malaysia.
Reza, some of the pages are quite helpful. Is it okay to share?
Oh, Ken. Who asked that just now? Oh, Leslie. Okay, Ken. What I'll do is, I think Colin has all your details, right? So what I'll do is I'll pass this deck to Colin, and then Colin can pass to you guys. Is that okay?
Yeah, thanks.
Right, no worries. Okay, this knowledge is free for all.
I want to ask, just now you mentioned about the pitch deck, right? There are about 9 that you mentioned, including the cover page. So untuk slide yang kita buat untuk presentation tu, is it should be about this number, 9 page ataupun sepatutnya lebih kurang?
Lebih kurang. So again, I'm not going to dictate like everything need to be in the slide. It's more like it depends on the program. It depends on what data do you have, and also it depends on what is the area that you're comfortable to share.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the percentage of marketing? I mean, like how much should we put for marketing?
If you ask me, right, in creating a pitch deck, when you talk about funds utilization, marketing and product development is always nice to have a good fund there, especially marketing.
Sorry, come again?
I mean, for product development or marketing, it's good to have a big number there. I mean, usually for manpower, try to avoid, because a lot of people, not all investors want to give money for your product for your salary. So try to avoid your operation and salary. But for product development, when you want to create a tech, and you nak buy machinery, that is fine. But usually they will happy to see that you invest more in your marketing.
Okay.
Put more money. Again, it looks for the grant, right? Kalau you apply for Cradle, they will be happy for you to put more on the product development because you're building an app, building a tech. But if you apply for grant yang memang untuk scale, then it's nice to put for marketing. Like for you, if you are talking about example like Superb Teraju, then it should be a balance between product development and marketing, but it should be less on manpower or operations.
Okay, thank you.
And also, I think one thing I forgot to put here is like you always finish your slide with your your last slide, right? Your thank you slide must always have your website, your kalau boleh your one-liner also. So one-liner, website link, and your email. Because one-liner is to recap to them like what did you do. Your email, in the case they want to contact you, they might not show interest, but they might contact you. And your website is a free marketing tool. Right, so this 3 is like a free advertisement as how the cover page should be like. Right, do you have any more want to ask questions? No? Right, Colin, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
All right.
Okay. So, no more questions? I think everybody is in a Friday mode.
Yeah, I think that everyone will be like, there's so many info, I can't digest anymore.
Right. Okay then, let's wrap it up then.
Okay, all right. If that's the case, thank you so much everyone for surviving this 4 hours on a Friday night. What I'll do is I'll share the deck with Colin right after this, and either Colin share to you tonight or tomorrow. I'm gonna wish you all the best, and you guys have more module. And if you guys are applying for any program, if you guys also want to know any investors, you guys can just drop me an email, and then let me know what is the specific area that you guys are doing, and I'll try my best to share some investors or some program that might be relevant for you guys. All right, thank you so much. Have a good weekend and stay safe, everyone.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, Reza.
Bye.
Thank you. Because ada yang banyak yang business and I